Superhumans! Once pure fiction, they became reality the day a god perished in our skies, bringing power to a lucky few and terror to the rest. Those masses are now looking for hope, and I want to provide it. My name is Network, here to prove that you do have protectors during these unprecedented times. What better way to do so than with live footage? Our camera drones capture all the action so you can see our new superheroes fighting the good fight in real time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome to Power Play.
Thrusters engaged.
Tragedy at the Space Needle today, as I can now confirm that the attack by the villain Storm Chaser has not gone without casualties. We have received reports that at least one civilian did unfortunately perish during the incident, with more injuries being treated. Could this mark the beginning of a dark new chapter in recent superhuman history? It is too soon to say, but even in dark times like this, there is still hope, as intervention by all four of Seattle's heroes prevented what could have been a far higher death toll. For anyone who missed the live broadcast, we will now show replay footage of how the situation was resolved, and I once again must warn you that you may want to send your children out of the room. However, as always, the heroes only did what was necessary, and it was Storm Chaser who forced their hand. Certainly a harrowing sight, and hopefully not a sign of things to come. Let me end this broadcast with a call to action for the viewers. While I can guarantee you that our heroes are not slacking on their protective duties, remember that they are people just like you and I, and are surely going to be emotionally affected by the incidents that happened here today. If you see them in public acting a bit out of sorts, now's your chance to return the favor and do some good yourself. Tell them that they have your full support, you appreciate what they're doing, and remind them that they are never truly alone. Welcome, everybody, to episode 6 of Power Play. We have cleared mid-season. A lot of things have changed as of the end of last episode. How is everybody feeling? Now, I always ask that question, but I feel like it takes on a little bit of a different context today, because I need to give the audience a little bit of insider information here. We are recording episode 6 the day after episode 5. It has been less than 24 hours since the very big reveal of Network's powers. So now, with that context, how's everybody feeling? With no time to process.
Not a word of a lie. I went to bed sort of still thinking about the session. I woke up sort of having a vague daydream about what Umbra's gonna do to Network.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You've just been in power play mode the whole 24 hours.
Basically, I never dropped out of it.
I mean, same, because we finished the episode. I went and finished editing episode 1, slept a little bit, and then I got up and had a meeting that ended up getting canceled last minute, so I was just working on other power play stuff, and now I'm back in the fucking building again.
Yeah, I don't know. As a player, scared.
Yeah?
As a character, I'm guessing I probably feel tired.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. I think like, what an exciting twist. I'm so excited to see where this is going. But like, then getting into the character headspace, dread.
Yeah.
Dread.
My character is at the lowest she has ever been, mentally, emotionally, and hope-wise, and I, the player, had a bad midday nap, so we're on equal levels, and I'm excited to get into it.
It's method.
It's so method.
Exciting. Gonna be a very fun episode where everyone's mental states are super good. To people who have been around since the Symmetry days, it's the Super Happy Fun Time episode part 2 at this point. And with that somewhat ominous little start, let's get into things. I suppose I should ask, I'll sort of pose this to the room very quickly. We ended real quick after the big reveal, right? Everybody sort of went back and got their little revenge on Network best they could through however his powers work, or at least you tried to. Does anyone want to do anything or have any reaction immediately after this, like the day after? Because if not, we're going to time skip forward a couple days.
Not from me.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Got to process it all. Gotta
Yeah.
start formulating.
All right. In that case, we're going to skip forward. Actually, I would say another week. There have been no supervillain attacks this week. It seems that through, I guess, Network's planning, which you now know at least a little bit more about, nothing else has been orchestrated in that time from your perspective. There have been things for you guys to do on the superhero front. You know, you can still go out and patrol if you want, which I'm sure some of you are going to want to do as a coping mechanism, if anything. There are minor crimes to stop, things of that nature. The show is still going on as normal. To everybody else in the city who does not have this insider information, superhero fever is hitting an all-time high at this point. In direct contrast to the emotions of you guys, again, people don't know what's actually going on behind the scenes. And as this week is progressing, people are seeing, you know, the whole Storm Chaser incident where from their perspective, you saved a whole bunch of people from the scariest villain who's been seen yet. People love you guys. Your fan bases are growing. Your, internet culture spaces are growing. But how is that affecting your guys' mental state in that? If anyone wants to sort of enlighten us as to how you're feeling after a week of everyone being really hype, not knowing shit about reality.
I think, and this is gonna sound terrible, but I think it's helping for Goo Girl. I think she's, because like, yes, she's a hero, but also she's very much in this for the attention first and the heroics second. Like, there's that gnawing dread and like fear that lays back there, and she's maybe not even proud of this, but she's kind of getting caught up in it. She's talking with people online. She's celebrating with the fans. And I don't think she knows this, but it's definitely like if I can focus on the good, I don't have to face this horrible fucking thing that's happening. And I imagine it does not come off well to the rest of her team. But she's... The fan reaction has kind of pulled her back, I guess.
Yeah. Tom, I think, has made like some like anonymous sock puppet accounts and is kind of just shit posting his way through it. Like posting memes, like showing like fucking especially he posts a lot of memes that are made from pictures of Storm Chaser's ripped face. That are sort of like me when I have, I don't know, work in the morning after a long night out, and then it's just him with like his face ripped open on the ground kind of thing. Like, just like really a lot of dark shit, a lot of sort of like but he's just kind of shit posting his way through it a lot. Like, he's on his phone a lot more than he usually is. He has not been to class even one time.
I was going to ask that afterwards, so keep that sort of in mind. Is everybody, I guess, are you keeping up with your other real-world responsibilities? Are those sort of falling by the wayside with this? Just keep that in mind with your descriptions here. But continue.
Yeah, no, he's not been to class even once. He will have gone to see Danny a couple of times to try and get a hold of her, if she's receptive to any kind of visitor.
Danny would probably take a visitor. She's not going out of her way to interact with anyone by any means, and we'd have to see how that first visit would go. As for like her social media, she has never been a super big poster, but now just like it is so solely Instagram post workout pics, all in grayscale with some caption like the tiger needs to train to be at peace in its sanctuary. The tiger is the bear, and there's like a slow Limp Bizkit track connected to the post. So but otherwise she is dedicated to functioning. She has been going to classes. She's been keeping up with stuff. She has been functional thus far.
And a little bit of extra information for Danny on that sort of front. You guys did not hear the recap episode because those are done in post, or the recap of last episode, but I don't think there was much doubt about this. Everything that happened with the Storm Chaser incident was very much shown, right? It was all edited, but now that you pretty actively know that Network is going for shock value, like, yeah, the more violent stuff of that was on the air as well. And that does include Ring Bear going absolutely insane on the roof of the Space Needle there. And while it's up to Mike whether Danny is aware of this or not, there is definitely more discussion happening on the internet around your secret identity, because your identity is a little bit more public than everybody else's. And the connection to you having that less controlled moment, that is something that is starting to build in the community. Nothing immediately responsive right now, but something to keep in mind as you're analyzing the last week.
Cool.
I think Taylor is not good at social media. It's kind of just been thrust upon him. I didn't watch the broadcast, obviously. I'm sure Network said something, but on a pure visual standpoint, I jumped off a building and then got ushered into a car, maybe alive. And so I'm sure Network kept people informed on my state, but I think I haven't posted since the night after I woke up, and I just made like a black screen post on my story saying like, I'm all right, just need to take time to lock in. And haven't posted since. I think over the week I've been able to just kind of clear the afraid and the angry condition. Taylor's not the type to just hold on to that for very long, but the one condition I cannot clear is guilty. And so I do think Taylor has started to patrol on his own just to get some extra helping people in there to maybe make up for that. And he's also thinking a lot about Nikki, and how it's like, well, fuck. I can't rope her into this anymore. I don't want to even associate myself with her anymore, because if Network is watching through my eyes when I try to ask her out, next thing I know, she's going to fucking have a drone pointing a gun at her or something. And so I've kind of, over the week, come to terms with, I'm not alone, but like, I am no longer just a guy. I am TBD, and I kind of have to play that role. And I am not attending classes.
I like I'm getting kind of an imagery of the very classic Spider-Man or Peter Parker walking away from the Spider-Man costume in the alleyway, but like in reverse. That kind of identity crisis type thing. I like that.
I'll also say, post not dying, Taylor's been a lot more tired. It's
interesting.
It's like maybe that took a lot of energy or something, not dying. But he's been sleepy. He's been just kind of sluggish, but he still goes out to patrol and still, it's not like debilitating, but he's tired.
On the note of tiredness, real quick, Mason has insisted on checking you out medically over the course of the week a couple times. Still has no idea exactly what happened, right? Like, obviously, your powers were what saved you, but usually when your powers activate, there is some sort of, like, physiological change. Mason has not been able to find any sort of evidence of that regardless. You just didn't die and were unharmed, and that seems to be the end of it, which, for what it's worth, doesn't exactly line up with how your powers have manifested before.
No, not really. I'm surprised I didn't turn into like Flubber, and that's how I lived or something. I just didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
You've already gotten
And-
Google powers once. You can't be Flubber twice.
Speaking of which, how did Network spin Taylor's spill? Because it was technically
Yeah.
caused by a drone, right?
hit a drone.
So presumably that got edited out, but what was the narrative then of what happened when he failed to catch,
Oh, for the person that was thrown off, that was actually, I would say, that's a good... See, this is the problem with I did this. This is the one issue with doing these on consecutive days, is I have to think more about how Network, who is, for all intents and purposes, my character in this, would spin these kinds of things. First off, obviously, actually, you know what? I think I know what it would be. With clever editing, obviously the drone knock was not shown, but what was definitely the case is basically TBD. I think what would have probably been edited is that you were also thrown, if anything, by Storm Chaser. Is that he essentially threw both you and the civilian at the same time, and then with editing, he would have made it look like you did essentially even more to catch them, so it was like, it was less of an active failure and more like a horrible situation that could have been prevented, and you did your best despite, but sometimes those things just have, like, making it look like a sort of unavoidable tragedy kind of thing, because that's very much something that would get clicks and views.
For sure.
Not spinning it as an active failure.
That's good for the fans, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is he spinning me ripping a guy's face open?
Oh,
I imagine it's good for his ratings, but like, how is he, like, is it like this is vigilante, like this is real justice, or like as opposed to the police who won't do anything, or like how's he spinning that on a cultural level?
on a cultural level, it definitely would have been something like very much in the moment. This is what needed to happen, right? Like,
Right.
oh shit, Storm Chaser's charging. I mean, he wouldn't say it like this. He would say it in the character voice, but like, oh shit, Storm Chaser's about to charge up another attack and kill Ring Bear, and Umbra is swooping in and doing what has to be done. Doing that sort of big final hit in like an almost a triage sort of moment.
Yeah, I can imagine Tom walking down the road, seeing a police car drive by with like the Umbra symbol on it, and kind of feeling horrible inside.
Yeah, actually, that very much does sort of line up. As this that is getting sold as like you're the intense one who sort of did what needed to be done.
Yeah, that makes sense, and he feels really bad now.
Yeah.
Brutal. Can I have a roleplay moment with Mason?
Yeah, for sure.
Can I have it alone?
How ominous. I'm very rarely going to say no to that. My question beforehand, I guess, just for my note of sort of where this is, like, when in the week is this? Is this shortly after? Is this where we're picking up?
Probably where we're picking up, like a week. So, I would say this is probably like on like night 6 or whatever. I went out. I used my powers. I saved some people, and it was cool. And when I got home, back to the dorm, I was, getting ready for bed. It's like 4 a.m. I'm brushing my teeth. And I look in the mirror, and my nose is bleeding. And I'm like, oh shit. Spit out the toothpaste and like get my shit, and it's just like, oh god, and it doesn't stop. And so, just on a whim, I like, and this is actually like the second or maybe third time this has happened. Always after a long night out. And so I go and my next visit to Mason, I don't know what kind of tests he's running, if you wanted to describe that, or if he's just like asking me how I feel, but I'm definitely going to mention that to him.
Yeah. He is running basically every test that he can think of, right? Mason is a very smart guy when it comes to human anatomy. I think I mentioned this in the after show, but if you actually break down the timeline of Mason's history with him getting his doctorate and then going into a coma, like, he blasted through medical school and residency and everything in a couple of years. He is very, very, very smart at this, and he has no idea what's going on. You have kind of been able to tell over the course of this week that this pisses him off greatly. He is annoyed that he cannot figure out what's going on with you. So even though his special is in hematology, which is blood science, he's been trying everything. Yeah. When you say that your nose has been bleeding, that is his specialty. That is his area.
Yeah,
so he immediately locks in at that. He always is kind of perpetually tired, perpetually has an energy drink or coffee or something in his hand because of his own condition. But he snaps up at that and goes, I'm sorry, say your nose has been bleeding just randomly?
I don't think it's random. It's mainly been happening after I patrol. And so I didn't know if...
And this has been happening like a couple times?
It's only happened like... I didn't bring it up at first because sometimes you just get nosebleeds, but... last night was the third night after patrol.
Okay, going forward, assume nothing just happens to you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's probably smart. That's why you're the doctor. Okay. So yeah, that's happened consistently after my last 3
Look at your nose. Get on here on the bed.
Oh.
He gestures to the cot. I have absolutely no idea what medical tools or technology would be necessary to investigate blood vessels like that, but this is a very well-equipped medical facility, and basically is very smart. So we're just going to assume that he has the tech and the resources to do that. And as he's sort of looking at the results of these tests, you see his brow furrow a little bit. He looks confused, which is more confused than usual, I should say, which is probably bad, but he doesn't immediately say anything.
What's up, Doc?
You said this is the third time this has happened?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, because I can see that there's some blood vessel damage here, definitely. It's not that abnormal, I guess. It's not good, but it's nothing I haven't seen before. But it doesn't look... When was the first time this happened? One more time?
3 days ago? 4 days ago?
Huh. This damage looks older than that.
Do you think it's from the needle? And it's just... If it was from the needle, it would have been bleeding already, surely.
No, this looks like... It's not exactly this, but it almost sort of has remnants of, like, scar tissue. Like, this looks like old damage. I don't know why it would have started... I don't see how it couldn't have been fine up to now and then just started causing an issue. Again, everything about your biology is a goddamn mystery. But let me know if this keeps happening. Have there been any other injuries of this kind of recurring nature?
No, I mean... I'm tired, but who's not, right?
He looks down at the drink in his hand. Fair enough. I'll have to run some more checks. Let me get a blood sample. And actually, if you can, get a sample of the blood the next time it bleeds. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Worst case, literally just stick it on a paper towel or something and bring it in. We'll accommodate for... Obviously, try to get it as clean as you can, but just whatever...
Right.
That would be helpful.
Okay, yeah. You got it, man. Thanks.
Yeah. No problem.
And I go back home.
All right. Some ominous possible foreshadowing there, and now we will call in everybody else. TBD's dead.
Aw, damn it.
Man.
Yeah. Fell down a flight of stairs. Who would have thought?
He was leaving the medical office and he...
Those last 20 feet.
Space Needle didn't do it.
Used to last us power.
Hashtag RIP TBD. Get it trendy.
Now, with everybody's week largely established, there is one more question that I have to pose to you guys. And the answer very well may be nothing, but it's definitely something we need to address before we go forward. You may talk about this amongst yourselves if you haven't thought about it, but have you guys, individually or in any level of groups, made any sort of plans or taken any action against the situation at all? Be that information gathering or making a plan, anything. Like I said, the answer could definitely be no, but something I want to know going into the rest of the episode.
I don't think so,
I had a
because
plan to do something, but not yet.
now we have like this thing where it's like, well, if whenever we get together, fucking network's gonna be watching, and so until we figure out a way to communicate in a way that he can't see, because this is what I've been thinking about in the last 24 hours. It's like, okay, I close my eyes and I write a note. It'll look like a child did it, but that's fine. Then I give it to somebody. No, but then they have to read it with their eyes. Fuck. And that's kind of the path that
We all gotta learn Braille.
Gotta learn Braille or something.
Mm-hmm. Fun little puzzles. And by fun, I mean fun for me and hopefully the audience, and certainly not you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, no action has been taken.
No,
No,
not
no,
really.
no.
I don't
Not
even
yet,
know if,
no.
unless somebody else has been. I don't think I've been that active in the group chat.
I think
Danny
Google
would
has
be.
invited you all to do a stream and patrol every single day.
I think Tom will have gone a couple of times.
I
Actually.
think TBD
Oh,
would
yeah.
have gone a couple of times as well, but I think he actually prefers doing things off camera.
That
And
makes
like
sense.
if people try to stop him for a photo, he'll be like, "Sorry, I got work to do."
We'll add a little scary thing in here. Despite you trying to do everything off camera, shots of you from patrols that you definitely did not see cameras take do keep showing up in broadcasts.
If it behooves me in the moment, are these coming from drones? If I see a drone following me on my night out, I will take it out.
That makes sense, but you take out every drone, it does not necessarily stop.
Doing my part.
Yeah,
I'll take
like
every
that's
drone
certainly
I see.
like, because that was what I was about to say, like on patrol with Google, like Tom sort of quietly makes a point. Every time we come past a security camera, he'll just like with his tentacles like snip the wires or like tear them off the walls real quiet. He knows it won't do anything. He's just being spiteful.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Make
like you
him
gotta
work
rebel
for it at
when
the very
you can.
least. And hey, maybe it helps
Yeah, and
in
also
some
just
capacity.
he has
You
he has
don't
like
know.
he's developed a sudden aversion to the concept of surveillance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
We're dismantling the surveillance state. Let's go.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They called himself a one-man surveillance state last episode. So, one last question before we actually get into the content, now that the establishing is done. Google, have you been going to classes and dealing with regular life stuff? I sort of posed that question after you had already talked about your week.
Oh my god, no. Absolutely
Okay.
not. All she's doing is social media and patrol.
So the only one who is actually still going is Danny. Correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We are going to pick up then at your Intro to Physics class the next week with Danny being the only person there. Get there on time or, just before whenever Danny would typically get there. And after a few minutes, the lecture starts and Nikki comes and sits next to you looking a little bit concerned. Not like actively concerned, but just worried.
You, hey.
Hey, I know we haven't talked that many times and we don't know each other too well, but I'm part of the Frisbee Club? Was that what it was? I don't remember. It was very whatever. Are you okay?
Frisbee Club isn't a Frisbee Club anymore.
What happened
For
to the
reasons that I
Frisbees?
just can't tell you.
But look, I know no one else has been coming to class. I haven't seen anyone in a bit. Obviously, I've seen Rebecca, but even she's been kind of manic lately, almost. It's something changed in just the vibe of all you guys, and it's starting to freak me out a little bit.
We learned the truth of our situation. they're reacting reasonably for their situation, I'm sure, but you don't want to be in it.
She thinks for a second, clearly stunned by that, not entirely sure how to respond, and then speaks up after and goes, I mean, I guess I'm kind of already in it a little bit. I mean, it's just us here. Nobody else is listening. Why can't you say anything?
Debbie stifles a wry chuckle. It's dangerous. It's really dangerous even to know what exactly is going on, so... And I don't want to be the one to tell you or put that onto you, because it'll just put more pressure, I'm sure, on Rebecca, Taylor. So... shit's fucked. That's it.
Nikki sort of squints at you and then just nods. Definitely still confused, definitely concerned, but you can kind of see the gears turning in her head. She can clearly tell something is wrong. You also get the sense that she's definitely not going to drop this.
Look, find out whatever you want to. I'm just not gonna do it for you, okay? I don't want that on my back.
Okay. And then she goes back to whatever she's doing. And with that, I think we're actually going to skip probably... How much time would this sort of take? I think we're going to skip another day, definitely. So we're, at this point, 8 days after the Storm Chaser incident. With
So
Rebecca...
who's going to be wearing that meteorology shirt?
Oh, I am. That was actually a total coincidence. Ha! Yeah, ha. We are going to open up this 8th day with Rebecca. In the morning before you go out to patrol or do whatever you're doing, Nikki, your roommate, who has, obviously, as we've kind of established in the last scene, noticed that you've been weird but doesn't know anything about the situation, at least as far as you know, she proposes to you. She goes, hey, Rebecca, you've been, like, crazy busy the past week with patrols and stuff?
Oh, yeah, I just... riding the momentum on social media. Have you seen the numbers?
Yeah, you're doing really, really good. Good for you. Do you think, like, you've been streaming, like, every night. Do you want a break or something?
I don't know. Did you have anything in mind? Like, do you want to, I don't know, like, hang out like we used to or something?
Yeah, I know you've been busy, but my cousin's birthday party is tonight, and I figured if you want, like, an excuse to get out and do stuff, I know he's a really big fan of yours, too, so maybe it could be, like, a little bit of a publicity thing. You can kind of use that to justify it.
Yeah, I'll crash the birthday. Do you want me to, like, show up as me and then, like, yo, where did Rebecca go? Oh my god, Goo Girl's here.
Oh, yeah, that would be funny, like in Spider-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's do it. Hell yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's a fan. I could use the break. This would be fun.
She texts you an address, which is the place where the party's going to be. And then once again, you guys just go your separate ways. She goes to whatever classes she's going to. You patrol regardless. I assume that you're going to go to this. And are you going by yourself? I guess I should ask, just in case.
I think I throw it into the group chat, but, you know, again, Google throws a lot of things into the group chat, and she's like, party where we could show up as our civilian selves and make an appearance and be cool, and does not explain what any of that means. So if you would show up to a party with that description, then yeah, you know.
Yeah, Mike's shaking his head. I didn't think that Danny was going to. I feel like that question was mostly posed to the other two members at this point.
A party?
Yeah, again, I think Tom's gonna go.
Cool.
He's like, again, because he's sort of torn between reacting like Danny and reacting like Rebecca, where he's like just desperately trying to get something good to distract him from the dread.
That would be good for you. They're fans of you too, probably.
Ah, man, yeah. You don't. Like, you've seen the people who are starting to become my fans, right?
Yeah. You know, I saw a cop car with your sticker on it the other day. I got accused of being a cop a couple of weeks ago by
Yeah.
someone who didn't like me. That's not a good look. You should really, I
No,
don't
we
know.
gotta get a network to give us a cop-themed villain or something.
Oh, that's
It has
actually
been
not a
established
bad
that he doesn't
idea.
like cops. One of my favorite lines from him in this whole series is still "Bad news, the cop's okay."
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold
Taylor,
on.
are you going to this event? I don't know if
Say again, is
Rebecca
this birthday
said-
party? Is this like it's like for a kid?
I assume this cousin is like a college-aged adult also, right?
I,
Otherwise,
I'll say this: Nikki did not technically say the age of the cousin, but the address of the party is a club, so probably not a
Okay.
child.
oh good. Because like I've pre-gamed a little bit, and if this is a child's party, I gotta not show up.
Gotta go
Um,
drink a lot of water.
If it's a club and the whole point is to just make an appearance for, for the media of it all, I'm not going. I'm
Okay,
probably not going.
so we're getting a Tom and Rebecca scene then.
Yeah, all right.
We fast forward to the scene of this party, same night, at this club. Now, it is a fairly busy place, right? Like, whatever party this is, you don't know if this is presumably from the size of this place. It's not, like, booked out just for this party, but there's a lot of people there. There's, like, a line to get in. There's, bouncer at the door, normal stuff. It's a surprisingly fancy place, not one that you guys have ever been to before.
Oh, do we just like wait in line? I actually didn't used to party very much.
Yeah, shit. I don't know. Like, we know the person who's throwing the party. Like, maybe there's a list.
Ask if there's a list. I do feel a little underdressed. I'm wearing jeans and a hoodie.
Yeah, at least we still got the fake IDs. I could fucking use a drink.
Hell yeah, first round's on me, kid. You're only like 2 years younger than her. Calling you kid is so insulting.
Like he just punches you in the shoulder like that, and you wobble, right?
Yeah, like oh,
Little ripples.
careful. So yeah, we do go straight to the bouncer to see if we're on the list.
Just because I think it would be funny. When you ask if you're on the list, are you saying Rebecca Ray or are you saying Goo Girl?
You know what? I think she's gonna say Goo Girl. I think I'm like, hey,
Yeah, and I think Tom is gonna look at her like with big eyes, like, wait, what?
The bouncer kind of just looks you up and down and goes, uh-huh.
I think she's gonna hold her hand out and turn the hand green for a second and be like,
He kind of like rubs his eyes at that. And then you see him roll his eyes and goes, oh yeah, like I haven't seen that trick before. You think you're the first person to try and get in by pretending to be one of the superheroes?
hold on. Other people are trying to get in by pretending to be me?
Yeah. I mean, people try to pretend that they're celebrities, and they're celebrities now. You're not. You're just some random girl who is apparently not made of slime.
Tom, put your hand at me somewhere. Like my face, not like...
Rebecca, like,
Hold
you
on.
know that feeling. Like, but he like, oh my god, fine, and like sort of like covering a little bit, like he puts a hand up to her face and like pushes it inside, and then like pulls it back out and kind of shakes it, like you don't want to know how gross that feels, dude.
It can't be that bad.
As you propose this plan of proof to Tom, the bouncer looks horrified, and his mouth kind of opens as if to say, like, oh, you don't need to do that. And then Tom does it, and his horror turns to, like, a very different kind of horror. As I imagine it, at first, this looks like the thing from Deadpool and Wolverine, where the lady just, like, reaches her fingers through people's faces, and then he kind of processes what's going on. It's like, wait, holy shit, so you're, like, the actual Goo Girl.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm here for a party for a friend of a friend who's like a fan, and so I'm trying to be like incognito, and then like, oh shit, Goo Girl's here, but then also Goo Girl will be in your club partying, which maybe look good on social media.
That's so crazy. I thought it was like paint. we had a lady in here last week. She did the same kind of trick you did. She had covered her hand in like black light paint, and so it looked normal. And then she like flashed a light on really quick, so it like turned green. It was a whole thing. But I saw it there. But then you did. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead in.
Hell yeah! Thanks, man. Do you need to like see our IDs or? Actually, wait. I probably shouldn't show you that. Can you keep a secret? Do you need to see our IDs?
When you say, if you're off, I was gonna say, when you say, can you see our IDs? Like, you see a kind of spark in his brain of like, I would like to see that, and then you say, I probably shouldn't show him, and his face falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moment Rebecca says that, something like, he does need to see our IDs.
He does?
He doesn't, right? Like, no, he doesn't. He doesn't need to see our IDs. I think we've proven it.
Okay.
That's fair. You got me. I wouldn't, just so you know, we're cool. Like, I wouldn't tell anybody.
Oh, don't say that.
God,
You don't know what kinds
yeah.
of villains she's got.
I mean, okay, maybe don't tell it. Maybe we're not like that cool. Like, we're not cool enough where like someone could attack me. Just go in. Just go. And he gives you a thumbs up and waves you guys in the club.
See you later. See, it worked. There was kind of a list of cool people that are allowed in.
Yeah.
We're the cool people now.
Kind of a list.
Yeah, like,
Cool.
what are you at on TikTok? Is it like 20, 30 million at this point?
Yeah, 20 million, I think. I'm gonna just one day Matt's gonna say no to a number, but for now we're just pushing it.
Let's be
Have
real
they verified
here.
you yet? Because like, I can't get them to monetize mine.
Oh yeah, I've been monetized since before network.
To the follower question, imagine that somebody on TikTok was verifiably the first actual superhero. Like, yeah, you can say big numbers and I'm not gonna stop you. If people dancing can get like tens to hundreds of millions, yeah.
People with hundreds of millions on TikTok?
There's at least a couple, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And
I
Google's
never-
rapidly rising to those ranks. Inside
Start
this
saying bigger
club,
numbers.
it is very much like the classic nightclub scene, right? Like, not one of the shady ones that's sort of a trope in superhero movies, but there are a whole bunch of like people here. There's lights going everywhere. There's a DJ. Nicole has texted you beforehand that they're near the back of the place.
All right. Let's go find Nicole then. Hell yeah. And I'm just moving towards the back. I'm not even like looking that hard for Nicole. I figure I'll just see her when I see her. If I'm in the same part of the club, she'll probably shout me down.
Yeah.
I think Tom instinctively will like look around as like, Ignition Girl isn't here, right?
That's a good thing
Just
to
'cause,
be
like-
looking for, actually. That's very smart. You know what? Let's make
Yeah.
this dramatic. Even if this is nothing and I'm just trying to scare you, give me an assist the situation check.
Oh, okay.
That does scare me.
Let's see. Assess the situation is superior. So that is a 7. Yeah, 7.
A 7. You do not see her anywhere. But you can keep an eye out. Nothing seems particularly shady.
Yeah.
Everything here seems
He's
normal.
not keeping an eye out. He's just having that thing last time I was at a bar.
Yeah.
And I got distracted. It burned down. It's like, there's like, the bartender doesn't look like she has tattoos, right?
No.
Like
no.
that kind
Bartender,
of thing. That's more the level of vigilance he's on right now.
bartender does not seem to have any sort of superpowers, fire or otherwise. As you guys continue along, Nikki actually sees you first. If you're just walking along casually trying to find, Nikki walks up to you guys, waves, says, "Hey, Rebecca, you made it. Oh, and Tom, it's been a while. How are you doing, man?"
Yeah, no, I've been better, to be honest, but I guess you know that.
Yeah. I haven't really told her things.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna either. Just like,
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, I saw the broadcast where you... I saw the broadcast.
yeah, I've been trying to forget. I need a drink. Honestly, Nikki, I need a big fucking drink.
Okay, do we want, like... I know Rebecca was going to do, like, a whole thing where she, like, left and then came back as in a different outfit. Do you want to do that too? Like, absolutely no pressure. If you just want to be here to hang out, that's totally cool.
Ah, shit. You know what? I'll make a cameo. Fuck it. Why not? But I need that drink first. And, like, he'll flag down the bartender and, like, order, like, a vodka shot.
Yeah, you get your drink with your fake ID. For what it is worth, The bartender does check your ID this time. This person
Yeah.
is not going to be... I have to be very clear about that. I don't want to do any unintentional foreshadowing by skipping that. The bartender does check your ID. You get the shot. Rebecca, if you want anything, you can have that as well.
She gets like the shittiest light beer on the menu.
I mean, yeah, if it's going to get absorbed into your goo form, whatever works.
I just got the
Corona
image in
light.
my head of someone like doing like a keg stand off a Goo Girl.
Oh God, can I get people drunk? No, I don't want to. That's too far.
A conversation.
Goo Girl
for-
Joe shots. Goo Girl Joe shots. Sorry.
Look, the mechanics of how Goo Girl's slime works exactly, kind of, it operates on whatever questions we need answered in the moment get answered at that moment and never before. So if that ever becomes something that we need to address, we'll address it then. Once
So
you guys have had your drinks, Nikki kind of, again, like, takes you guys over to the side of the dance floor where it's a little bit more quiet. No, not very quiet, but there's not, like, people immediately around. And she's like, okay, so my cousin's over there. I went ahead and, like, cleared that you guys were going to do, like, a little bit of a thing with one of my friends who runs this place. Don't worry, their security cameras are off, so there's not going to be any sort of, like, secret identity stuff, but there's a place in the back, like one of the back doors. You guys can go out there and, like, change real quick and then come back in. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's perfect. Should we go say hi to your cousin first, or do you want us to just like go do our thing first?
Up to you guys, I guess.
Let's go meet the cousin. I wanna see who I'm gonna talk to.
Say hi.
Yeah. Nikki, notably, looks kind of nervous at that, out of nowhere. And
Should we not?
She says, oh no, it's like, I mean, he doesn't know you guys, but if you want to be, like, I just don't want him to get suspicious about, like, because if there's people that I know that he doesn't know that just sort of show up and then all of a sudden they've
Oh,
vanished
you
and
told him you know
superheroes-
Goo Girl?
So, no, well, I mean, no, but I mentioned that I might have contacted somebody on social media who was going to show up.
Let's not go introduce ourselves then. Let's go change in the back room.
Nikki
heads up.
breathes a sigh of relief at that, more, like, obviously than maybe she intended to. And now, a little bit more suspicious, takes you guys to this sort of back hallway area. It's just like a staff area, and then there's the back door. She goes, okay, you guys can just go through there, and it'll be okay.
Yeah, do you want us to wait for a signal, or?
Yeah. I'll, like, knock on the door. We'll do, like, and then
Can we just
that'll be.
come in with us, and then like we can just all come out together and like make it not be so complicated.
Yeah. I'll come in. I'll come in behind you guys.
Okay, works for me. God, there's no way Rebecca would be sus of this.
No, but
I'm
Tom
so
would.
sus.
I'd like to pierce the mask on Nikki here.
Oh yeah, go for it.
That is pierce the mask is mundane, right? So that's a 6.
A 6. I'm not going to let you ask specific questions because you did technically fail the roll, but I will also say, yeah, she's being incredibly weird. That's not something that you have to have a roll to figure out.
Yeah, so I think Tom was sort of like, okay. He'll go in the back room and he'll like pull Rebecca aside, like she's acting weird. Right?
Actually, if you're going in the back room, that's
okay,
a bit of a trigger for something.
Both going in.
That is a bit of a trigger
Yeah.
for something. So as you guys reach for this door to exit, the lights in this hallway suddenly cut off, leaving it entirely pitch black. It is pretty dark outside. You're in this back room. There's maybe like some slight flashes from the club. Tom, with your shadow sense, you might be able to get a sense of something here. And you feel somebody, presumably Nikki, which you can kind of tell from your shadow sense, Tom, just sort of shoves you guys through this door. And you fall onto equally dark but very hard floor. and then Nikki jumps in after you, and you hear a door slam.
Nikki?
Yo, what the hell?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I talked to Danny, and I kind of got like a sense something was weird. Can we turn the lights on? The lights in this van that you guys are now in the back of turn on, revealing a very weird sight. It is a large, empty back of a van lined with like metal and wires and just all sorts of mechanical looking nonsense. There is no one else here except for you two and Nikki. But as the lights come on, you feel the van start up and begin to drive away.
Yeah. Tom is gonna be like, what the hell do you mean? Is this one of Networks' vans?
No. This, I don't know how much you guys know about like engineering. This is called a Faraday cage.
You put us in a cage?
No, it's I saw it on Mythbusters. It's one of those things like blocks electromagnetism, right?
Yeah, and it also blocks pretty much all kinds of remote signals. See, I talked to Danny a couple days ago, and she was being really weird, and no one else was watching, but she was kind of acting like suspicious, like she was being careful with what she said. And I know that Network follows you guys around with drones, and you know, Rebecca, you have to be really careful with the phone that he gave you. I know you've given that to me a couple times, so I thought that maybe he was monitoring you guys, so I set this up so that we can talk without any of the signals going out.
Right, but who the hell's driving?
Oh, Professor Quinto.
Professor Quinto?
Oh, hell yeah. Although maybe you shouldn't have asked that, because now Professor Quinto's probably in danger too, because we know.
Yeah, look, you're having a good thought, but like Network, he's got powers, and I don't know how the fuck they work, but he can see through. If you're listening anyway, you fucking asshole, like he sees through our eyes.
Everyone's eyes. I guess if you're saying it, we're both saying it. And so you're in a lot of danger right now.
Oh, shit. Wait, what? She, like, her demeanor
I
changes immediately. She goes, and do you know how...
I don't know
like,
if it's
works?
electromagnetism or whatever, but like any phone, any fucking camera, anything, any piece, he was looking through your eyes when we were having the meeting.
What?
Yeah, he can see everything.
She kind of just, like, slumps down against the wall of this van. Doesn't say anything for a minute. Obviously just sort of processing, trying to figure out if her plan was going to work. But, not saying anything. The van is still driving, for what it's worth.
Oh.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry, Nigga. I don't know if this is gonna work. I really hope so, because, like, now you know, and, like, now you're a target.
Yeah.
She still doesn't say anything. And after another minute, the van slows to a stop. And a panel towards the driver's side. Actually, you hear, like, a door slide open, but you don't see anything. And then after a minute, you hear that door slide closed again, and then another panel slide open, sort of like an airlock type situation. And Professor Quinto crawls through this airlock type thing from the driver's seat, looks around, everybody goes, this is not exactly the energy that I was expecting to see from this group. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, Professor Quinto. Sorry
Hi,
I've been
Professor.
skipping class.
Yeah.
It's all right. I've known that you were Goo Girl for some time now.
Oh.
Your hair is the exact same shade of green, and if you look closely, well, you've handed in some papers that were wet.
Damn it. I thought I got so good at not being gooey on things. I should get gloves.
And you, Tom, your shadow moves occasionally.
Yeah. No, that happens.
So do you know about Danny and Taylor too?
I was able to figure out Danny. Taylor took a little bit more time, but through proximity to the rest of you.
Dang, you're good at this.
She kind of just does like a little acknowledgement nod.
Yeah.
But please inform me, why does everyone seem a little bit more worried than I would expect? I assure you, I did
Professor-
build this cage myself. It is very sound.
Yeah,
The
but
idea-
like we don't know if it's electromagnetism he's using.
He has powers too. He can see through everyone's eyes. So we don't know, because he can use all of our eyes as cameras. We don't know if that's electromagnetism, and if it's not, then he knows that you both know and are in on it and can see and hear everything that's happening right now.
As you are talking, Professor Quinto takes out like a notebook and starts writing some things down. She goes, interesting. And when you say he uses everybody's eyes, you have no idea how that's sort of transmitted?
No idea.
you-
But he's like people inside buildings, outside buildings. He's like he can't see it, and then he like catches himself. Like no, he sees everything. Like our families, friends, like half the people of the city.
Well, she turns to Nikki and goes, that certainly would have been some useful information to have beforehand. Is there any way that we can verify whether or not he is observing us currently?
I genuinely don't know. And that's kind of where we've been for the last 8 days.
Tom sort of goes, "All right, hey asshole, if you want to flex, send a car, I guess."
Yeah, he can't really help but flex.
And we sit there and we wait.
And you sit there and you wait.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, but is that because he didn't hear us, or is that because... Look, whatever else that fucker is, he's a showman. Like, he wants to show off. He made a whole fucking speech about it.
That's true.
He
I
would
think-
do something, right? Like, you're fucking... Like, he's like you. Like, he's like a fucking show-off TikToker. Like, he's...
What?
You'd do something, right? If someone called you out like that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I would probably like stitch their videos and tear them apart or something. But he's
Shit.
also really smart. He's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
At that, Professor Quinto kind of raises his eyebrow and goes, how long could he possibly have been doing this? I mean, from my understanding, these phenomenons have only been going on for a month and a half, almost 2.
Yeah, but he's got resources, Professor. Like, underground complex, thousands of drones, lots of people working for him. I have to assume he's paying them somehow, right?
So he had some
He
sort
was-
of
he was-
resources before the Catalyst incident.
He was doing
Yeah.
blackmail shit before he got to us.
You see her sort of ponder that for a second, but she doesn't say anything immediately. She's thinking through something.
I wish we had a way to see into his feed, because he puts it all on the screen, which means he's digitizing it somehow, right?
I mean, yeah, that does make logical sense.
Yeah.
You don't know
Yeah,
exactly.
like-
you don't know how exactly it is getting from sort of his power to the screen. Maybe that is
Yeah, good
part
question.
of his
Does
power.
he just
but
have like a HDMI cable coming out his ass?
The H stands for head. It's in his back of his head.
Shit, maybe that's what the helmet is.
Although, I mean, I think if he can see us, then we're screwed anyway after this conversation. And if he can't see us, then this is our best chance to strategize. So I think for now, we operate like he can't see us, and we just have the conversation we need to have, because otherwise, we're fucked anyway.
Yeah, if he knows, he's gonna let us know.
Yeah.
Like, we'll pull up and then, like, his car will be there, or, like, this drone right in front of us, some shit like that. I don't know.
The two of you, are you okay with the fact that if he finds out, he's not going to hurt... He's not going to hurt Tom and I, because we're his golden goose for entertainment. He's going to kill the two of you.
Nikki still looks kind of scared. She has not said anything for the last several minutes of this conversation, but after a slight pause in response to that, she goes, "Oh, I mean, you kind of said he was spying on me anyway."
Yeah, but, like, I think...
true.
Look, you haven't seen Taylor in a while, right?
I mean, I think he came into work like one day, maybe, but we didn't talk much.
Yeah, he like fucking god. Like it's the same thing with Danny, and like he wants to get away from you because he thinks he's putting you in danger.
She opens her mouth to say something and then closes it again.
Yeah, but listen, Danny, Nikki. Now that you know, stick close to him, okay? Like if you're gonna stick close to any of us, stick close to Taylor.
She nods.
That's
Faster and more readily than you might expect.
Yeah. Aw, interesting.
Also, you're two badass engineers. Make weapons. Make I don't know, a tank or something.
Yeah,
You can defend yourself
with
with.
on you.
To Chekhov's tank again.
Chekhov's tank.
Call back.
It's actually like Beetlejuice. We just need to mention a tank a third time.
Yeah,
and it
if
will
we're gonna
appear.
mention a tank a third time, and then someone's gonna get crushed by a tank falling out of the sky.
There's a set of powers for a villain.
I guess.
Summoning.
Yeah. I guess our first step is to try to get Taylor and Danny into this van. Wow, that sounds terrible when you say it like that.
Yeah, but we got to do it without telling them that that's what we're doing, because once we step out, he'll know. Wait, shit, maybe I can do that. And Tom is gonna like, we are inside this Faraday cage. Does that affect his powers at all?
What are you specifically trying to do?
Basically, like he's gonna be like tell the professor to turn out the light again, and then he's gonna try and see if he can feel his way outside of the van and like form a connection that'll allow him to like teleport.
Give me an Unleash Your Powers check.
Absolutely. That's a 10.
Oh, yeah, crit. You are able to... Yeah, you can sense outside of this just like you can normally.
Yeah. Okay, right. Shit, I think I could probably pull them in here.
Oh, they're gonna hate that.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Right.
You should absolutely.
Taylor's out of
do this,
patrol,
though.
right?
I
Like
think
Taylor, like would Taylor have like send a message to the group chat saying I'm out on patrol rather than coming to the party kind of thing?
I probably just said, I'm a pass. Yeah, I probably said something like, I'm a pass, I'm a patrol tonight. Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Shit. I think I'll try and go find him, and Tom will, like, if no one stops him, he'll step into the shadow realm and like without ever emerging from a shadow, which is gonna be difficult for him because he's never done that before. He's gonna try and like basically stride into the places where he knows that Taylor likes to patrol and try and find him from out of the shadows.
Very cool. Definitely going to be another Unleash Your Powers.
Yes. That's a 9.
Heyo.
Okay, yeah, that is going to be a success.
That
No.
+2 to freak is really doing some work for me.
Now, technically, this is another one where it's like, you hit, so the effect succeeds, but you have to mark a you're able to do it for purposes of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like so basically Taylor's like gonna be out on patrol, just doing his thing, and like maybe he notices, maybe he doesn't, that like a shadow on the wall like next to him sort of starts to morph and vibrate, and without saying anything, and without sticking his head out, like I'm just gonna reach out a tentacle and like pull him in.
There I go.
Yeah.
And
Am
I
I
assume
able
you're
to
going...
speak when I'm in the shadow realm, or is that just what happens to me?
Yeah,
you
I think you're able to
you
speak,
can
but
communicate
it's-
there.
But like it sounds weird. It sounds like there's an echo inside of your own head when you talk, kind of the same way like your voice sounds when you're holding your hands over your ears, right?
Right.
And so Tom is like, Taylor, sorry, dude. Shit. Nikki made a van. Now we can talk. I don't know how to explain. Come on. And like he'll sort of pull Taylor along through the shadows.
Okay, yeah, sure. Sure.
Yeah.
And you are pulled back through the shadows to the van.
Yeah, and I think like Tom is literally going to do a thing like as he emerges out of the shadow, he's going to pull Taylor so he stumbles towards Nikki.
Whoa!
In this fairly confined space, yeah, that absolutely works, and you just sort of tumble out in darkness, because for this to work, like, everybody who was in the van has just been sitting in total darkness this whole time, because, like, it's not like you can turn the lights back on and wait for a signal to go back in, because you got to have the lights off to go back in. So it's just total darkness, and then thump, suddenly you guys are back and just, like, falling on top of Nikki.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
I got him!
Sorry, Nikki. Sorry. Oh, God.
Lights come back on. She, like, lets out a yelp as you fall directly on top of her. But then as you get back up, she's like, oh, thank God. It's just, I thought it was, like, that was scary. But I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, just sit still for a second, like the vertigo will go away.
Okay. Sure. What is this?
Professor Quinto, who I don't believe you knew was here until now, because I don't think Tom mentioned
like,
it.
Tom
This
didn't
kind of
tell
speaks of, this is a Faraday cage that I built on
Professor.
Nikki's recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Faraday
she knows.
cage. Got it. Oh, she just knows. Okay, that's just a fact.
She just figured it out on her own.
None of you are particularly subtle.
I feel like I'm subtle.
If it's any consolation, you did take me the longest to figure out.
That actually does feel good. Okay, but like Faraday cage, what does that even mean?
She reiterates the Faraday cage explanation.
Right.
Yeah, and
But
Tom
how do we even
interrupted,
know
like
that?
saying, yeah, it's electromagnetism. Like, on the Mythbusters show, he seems kind of animated and more excited than you've seen him in a while.
How do we even know that works?
We don't, but we're here anyway. And if it doesn't work, network's just gonna kill them, so we might as well strategize.
Yeah, look, I called him out directly to say, hey, can you see this asshole flex? And nothing.
Okay, so just so we're on the same page, tea has already been spilled, and if this thing doesn't work, these two die?
Yeah, dude,
Well,
she's like, he points to Nikki. She's the one who pulled us into this fucking van in the first place.
I'm sorry,
I'm sorry,
I was
dude, that
trying to
Rubicon's
help.
been crossed.
no, it's actually kind of badass.
Didn't.
You're, like,
I didn't
basically
know that
Batman
he had
right
like
now.
magic vision powers.
This is great. Yeah, okay. So what? You're gonna go get Ring Bear?
Yeah, that'll be next. Just, oh, fuck. She'll be at home, right?
Or at the gym?
Or at the gym. Yeah, okay. Guess that's where I'm going to go try and look. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Professor, could you turn the lights off again?
Like,
Yeah. Want me to do another Unleash the Powers?
you've done it once before, very in rapid succession. I won't make you do another check for this one.
All right. Yeah,
For the
so,
sake of
like,
time.
second verse, same as the first. Gonna find Ring Bear. Like, where is Ring Bear right now?
Ring Bear. I think Ring Bear is at the gym. She's put it in another workout block in her day ever since shit went down.
Yeah. What's the gym like? Like, is it like floodlights and like just bright all over the fucking place, or is it like dingy?
I picture it a little bit dingy. Since we did wrestling training, the immediate image in my head was like a cross between like a boxing gym and sort of a high school gym. So like, the center is a ring. There's some weights. There's probably a treadmill, maybe some other cardio machines.
I'm very much imagining it as like the classic gym that Daredevil always trains in
A
everything.
single spotlight, a punch.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a dumbass. You're asking lighting specifically. Probably dingier lighting. Probably on the dingier side.
It's
Are you
just
sparring
like the
with somebody?
Shadow Man's like, what's the lighting like? There's some weights.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be literally like you're doing pull-ups, right? And then as you do your last rep and you drop down, like the floor is a shadow portal, so you just kind of go. Whoop.
Jesus Christ.
You land
sorry,
in
Danny.
total
Hi.
darkness, and your feet splash into something wet, which is Goo Girl.
What? There's some of me in
I
there?
think you dropped into like the
Like,
sewer. No, oh, you-
Teleported her directly to the van, right?
yeah, that's what I was imagining.
Like,
I'm just doing it
falls
for the joke
out of
of
the ceiling.
drops into the sewers and there's a splash, but then the lights come on. It's just Goo Girl. Like, hey,
Oh, what's up? Nice kicks.
Did I get teleported directly to the van, or am I in the shadow realm?
I did that for a bit, whichever Sky prefers.
I think it's funnier if I teleport you directly to the van and you land
Yeah.
on Google. I like that.
Yeah.
I
You're standing.
would rather be in the shadow realm.
Okay, Shadow Realm it is.
Interesting.
Tom, I swear to God, if this is a wellness check, you have fucked it up off the bat.
It isn't. It's not a wellness check. I tried to do that 2 days ago. You told me to fuck off.
I recall.
Yeah. No, it's... Look, maybe we have a way to talk without Helmet Guy listening in.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. Well,
Yeah.
we maybe had a way to beat him, and we didn't. I'm gonna make this short and simple. I'm not putting anyone else in danger. I'm not colluding. I'm not resisting. We're in the shit now. That's it.
You're not even gonna try?
What's the point? He can see everything. Even if we do have a blind spot, we'll live our lives in uncomfortable secret, and even if we do come up with a plan, how? He has a big fuck off complex with a billion cars and a billion workers. He's probably blackmailed some foreign politicians, domestic politicians, shit like that. We don't know how high this goes, and it doesn't matter how high it goes, because at the bottom is my fucking family. And none of them are going to die because of something that I did, because of a contract that I fucking signed up for. Someone already died under my watch. I am not letting it happen again. Leave me out of it.
Yeah, Tom is sort of going to be quiet. There's a lot of thoughts going through his head. And then there's like a moment of like, okay, fucking fine. Fine. I mean, you're a wrestler. I guess it was all posture. And like he's gonna in the Shadow Realm portal's there. Fine. We'll try. You know. Just don't get in the way, I guess.
I'll try.
Yeah. And as he's walking away, and hey, listen. If you ever change your mind, I'm only a shadow away, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, listen, Danny, I get it. Like, I'm fucking terrified, but at least, like, I think maybe we'll have an actual clubhouse where we can talk. You know, that's not nothing.
Then I can't go until I know it works. I can't risk it.
Okay. For whatever it's worth, when I saw the screens, he was doing his whole thing. He did not have any pictures from in here.
That's some comfort, at least.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, sorry, I just got excited. I'll let you get back to your sets.
Thank you, Tom.
And Danny, like, back out of the floor, as Tom sort of literally slinks away in the shadows, and he's not gonna go back right away.
Okay.
I think, like, watching sort of Danny go, Tom is gonna sit down on the nothing surface that's in there, and sort of stare up out at her for a bit, and slowly, like, sink deeper into the darkness. And this is where I'll we had some advancements for those who've been watching the after show. Those who've been sort of doing, like, signing up for the Patreon, which you should do, because the after shows are great. Like, there's a bunch of behind the scenes stuff we talk about. Like, we get some insight into the characters. But anyway, the point I was making is I took an advancement which gives me access to a power called Dark Visions, and there's no consequences to using this power. Don't worry about it. Which allows me to have a vision about the situation at hand. After the vision, I can ask the GM a question, and they will answer it honestly. And so the way I want to flavor this with Tom is that as he's like sitting there looking at Danny, he's letting himself sink deeper into the shadows than he ever has before. And he's going to sort of almost subconsciously, like, we need to know if it works. He's going to reach out and try and figure out, is Network looking at us on his fucking feed right now?
Okay. This is cool. I like this. Is there a role for this? I think there is.
There is
right?
not.
Oh, there's not.
I marked my Doom track. That's the cost.
There's Doom track. Okay.
So I can only do it so many times.
So this is gonna sound weird, but I have a reasoning for it. Make me an Unleash Your Powers check anyway.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what I just rolled? 12.
Wow.
Was that a natural 12 too?
No, it's a 10
okay,
plus
still,
2.
that natural 12 is not a thing in this system. But a 12, that's still a crit. Okay, yeah, fascinating. So, first off, right? We'll answer the question with your sort of dark vision, right? You reach out through the network of shadows to find what Network is doing. You've got a network of your own, as it were, right? And as you like sort of detect the shadows around Danny, you don't immediately get a sense of like perception, which you feel, as weird as this sounds, considering you've never done this before, like comparing, this actually works really well. When Goo Girl was interacting with Network during the confrontation at the start, you guys were in the Shadow Realm then, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that was the first time that you were in the Shadow Realm around Network. And you can definitely sense that it is a little bit different this time. There is a sense of like perception or information, that kind of feeling that somebody is watching you. It is not present in this moment around you or around Danny.
Interesting.
But as you sort of stretch your shadow network out, you do feel on the ground outside a little darker spot that is in the shape of one of Network's drones. So there's a drone watching, or at least hovering outside the building. It doesn't seem like it's watching directly. There's a drone, but there is not Network's direct perception here.
Interesting. Yeah, and I think like for the flavor of it, like as he's sort of sinking in, like all he's thinking about, we need to know if it works. It's not that he was actively trying to activate this power. It was more of like a subconscious thing.
Yes.
And so for him, it's an experience of like, as he's sunk deeper into it, like he's just getting this perception of more and more shadows further and further around him. And that's kind of exciting him. And then like eventually as he sort of begins to realize, wait, hang the fuck on. And like sort of rising out of the depths of the shadow, sort of losing the connection to the thing, but like ecstatic, like he's bouncing around in there, like up and down. 1-man surveillance state, motherfucker! 2 men now! And like bouncing around excitedly. And he's going to make his way back to the van. But Matthew, you're going to have to make a ruling.
I'm going to have to do 2 things here.
How long has this taken me? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
How long has this taken me?
We're going to do
one of the...
This is a couple things are going to happen here because of the Unleash Your Powers check that you did. So, as you are sort of like excitedly running around this space that you figured out something very useful to the situation, in that moment, you do start to feel a sense of perception. It is similar to the one that you felt coming off of Network, but it is not exactly the same. It is definitely a sort of different entity. At first, you kind of have pause because you're like, oh shoot, there's something here, there's something watching.
Yeah, he stops immediately and kind of goes, shit. Like,
but
fuck,
then,
did I blow it?
But then it gets a little bit stronger. And you can tell this is not Network's perception. This definitely feels different in some way or the other. It feels almost closer to you in some capacity, similar to your shadow self, like the actual entity itself that is somewhat bonded to you in some capacity, that other half of your own being. And it gets stronger and stronger and stronger until almost coming up from the floor, like radiating from beneath you, this sense of something like a giant eye, just watching everything around you as if gazing up from a crack in the earth.
I think Tom's gonna try and run.
Yeah, and if you book it back to the van, goes away. Once you sort of snap yourself out of this sense of perception, gone.
Yeah, no, like that's okay. That's gonna majorly freak him out for a second. He's gonna take a detour, and so like insofar as you can hide in the shadow realm, but it's like what the fuck? The fuck was that?
That was one of those unscripted moments where a dice roll really revealed a lore thing.
Okay, like yes, he's gonna have like sort of the fuck, and interestingly, like peeking over his shoulder, like the shadow version of himself is also gonna peek over and like have an expression on its face. I'm gonna let you decide how much it understands of what's going on here.
I'll do you one better. You got a 12. We'll do something cool. You look over your shoulder at your shadow self and find that somehow, as impossible as this sounds physically to perceive, your shadow self is also looking back at an impossibly darker shadow, which vanishes after a split second.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a moment of like, okay, but are you going to tell me what the fuck that was? And it just vanishes into him, and he doesn't get a straight answer.
Nope.
And now, after catching his breath for a second, now he's going to try and head back to the van. But it's going to be up to Matt to determine how long it has taken, because time does not pass quite the same in the Shadow Realm as it does outside of it.
It does not, which is actually so great for what I was wanting to do anyway. It's been half an hour.
Good God.
Yeah.
After like 10 minutes of sitting in the dark in the van, Professor Quinto is kind of like, does it usually take this long when he does something like this? I don't want to turn the lights on in case he needs to return, but I would also rather not sit in the back of a dark van.
Maybe he got caught and this idea is dumb.
It's also Tom. He's really easily distracted.
That's true. Maybe I'm just being a little pessimistic.
We'll give him a little bit more time, I suppose.
Can't even watch TikToks in here. Is there a Wi-Fi password?
And Nikki cut it from the show and goes, no.
Oh, I guess that does defeat the point. I'm just gonna put one back down.
And yeah, you guys are just sitting in darkness for half an hour. I imagine you're really kind of cutting it close to, all right, we're going to call it quits here for now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like right the moment when the finger is hovering over the button is when like there's all of a sudden like a little bit of a sort of a shaking sensation, and then Tom kind of like, "Yoosh," boom, slams into the opposite wall as he like dashes out of the shadow, kind of going, "Yoosh." Okay, I'm here.
Tom, are you okay?
Yeah, no, everything's cool. Turn on the light, please.
Lights.
Yeah.
That is the first time you've ever asked for light.
Everything's it's cool. Everything's cool.
It doesn't seem particularly cool. Also, weren't you getting someone?
Yeah, no, she's so so Danny's scared. Like her family, like she doesn't want to risk it. Not until she knows that it works, and frankly, like after talking to her, I'm kind of terrified as well. But like we need to prove that it works. Otherwise, she's not even gonna. She's just gonna work with network, and I'm like, I can't blame her. That's what I was gonna do, until
Yeah.
Right. So then what?
Well,
I guess we have to prove that it works. How do we do that?
Great question.
And this is out of character, a little bit of me not understanding technology that is newer than like 1995.
It's comic
and
book
also
science. It doesn't
in
have
character,
to be perfect.
I think that works great for Rebecca. But so she's gonna be like, if he's getting everyone's vision, then there's got to be some kind of signal or like, I don't know, gas or light that carries it, right?
Yeah, I mean, my powers only work on shadows I can get in touch with, right? Like, I can't, if there's a shadow in the middle of a room that's full of light, I can't touch it.
So
It's
my
like-
question. Okay, go ahead.
Maybe that's how his powers are too. Maybe he needs some kind of connection.
That's kind of what I was thinking. And maybe, like, he has drones everywhere. Maybe he can connect to us with his drones. Or maybe there's some other kind of signal that nothing else uses, so there's no type of signal interference. Is there anything that is, like, not here inside of the van that you can also check for when we're in class, just to see if that same signal, if there's, like, a signal there that is? We can try to isolate network.
As once again, speaking not in character here, I like your line of thinking. I also don't know the science and physics and engineering terms that would be necessary for this, but I will say that, yes, Professor Quinto especially knows how to do something of that nature and will sort of scan for it.
Cool.
Yeah,
That'll
and
be
Tom, sort of
established.
having composed himself a little, for what it's worth, look, I don't really know how to explain it, but for what it's worth, I don't think he knows. It feels a certain way when he's looking. It feels a certain way, and it doesn't feel that way anymore. I don't know. I believe in this, actually. I think I believe in this now.
Okay. That's a step. I also had to suggest a second, significantly worse plan. Tom, could you like step into a shadow in his office and see if he's like watching us right now?
Funny you should mention that. Well, I mean, I guess I could, but I was down there after Danny, like when she didn't want to come, I got a little, I sank down a little deeper than I usually do, but I touched the shadows where he was. I could feel what he was doing. I couldn't see him, like, it's like you can't see him there, but so I know he's in his office, or he was. How long has it been?
Like half an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was in his office half an hour ago.
Oh.
Did I say he was in his office half an hour ago?
I think so. You said I reached out and I was able to touch the. No, I don't actually remember if you said that specifically, but
Here's the thing. For the record, he actually is. So I don't know if I just that's where he would be. So it's entirely possible that I slipped up and accidentally said that and don't remember. But I don't know if I
just assumed it.
I just want to get that clear for audience, especially. Either I slipped up and said
Put a
that or not.
text
But
box on
regardless,
screen in the
it's
edit.
right. It's right. He is in there.
Huh.
I have like a weird. My power is very meta. I would classify my power as a meta level power.
Metahuman.
Metahuman.
And now
yeah.
we've all been sued.
No. There's a word. There is a canon word for like people who get powers thanks to the thing that died in the sky. But
Google
I
X.
can't
Yeah.
say what it is yet because it has not developed in universe yet. But there is a word, and it's not metahuman.
Yeah, mutant.
Ah.
Oh, inhuman, because we're like almost human.
No, Marvel doesn't care about
Oh,
that
it's
one.
quirks.
Yeah,
Obviously.
that's true.
We can say Inhumans. What are they going to do? Sue me for that? They haven't appeared in years.
My powers help me when people are in danger. If I try to use them right now, in my head, I'm like, okay, somehow my powers will make us all shut the fuck up if this conversation is putting our lives in danger.
That's some 10 out of 10 comic book bullshit. It's stupid as hell, and that's what this system's about. Give me an Unleash Your Powers
That's
check.
fully a Darwin power there, yeah.
That's absolutely the most plot device shit that TBD's ever done. The funny thing is if it doesn't
the plot
work,
device.
if it works, it will give you a lot of information, and if it doesn't work, it gives you jack shit. I think that's very funny. That's one reason I'm allowing it, is because it is really there's an interesting dichotomy.
I am going to take a moment to hone in for this.
Okay.
So I get an additional +2 on this Unleash Your Powers. Yeah, take a moment because nobody...
That is interesting, too, because I believe we did confirm... was it earlier? It was... I think it was last episode. Where you kind of did, like, the active sense and nothing happened. So you do kind of have, like, a danger sensey type of... Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was when people had headphones off, so anyway.
And it also happened fighting Ghostlight.
It did.
Where I tried to do a thing.
There's precedent for this. There's precedent for this.
Oh shit, he couldn't see Ghostlight on his cameras. And he can get eye feeds, which means he couldn't see Ghostlight in our eyes.
I want to make a slight correction there. He originally couldn't get feeds, and then put a filter on it, and then could.
He used our eye cams.
That was... Remember I said in that episode, I was like, there's a thing where if you go back and rewatch, it's going to be like, oh, that's how he did it. He can't filter it through the cameras, but he was using visual...
You could see him through our eyes.
Yeah, he was using the...
Interesting.
I'll talk about that in the after show, because there's a cool little dynamic
You will
with
have seen, like, the individual terrifying visions that each of us got from Ghostlight.
Right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that is an interesting thing to know, is how exactly he did that. That is sort of important. And if you're curious about how that power works and where that inspiration came from, there's a cool thing I'll talk about in the after show. So someone remind me to do that.
Cool. All right. So just Unleash Your Powers. I got a +2 to this. Trying to focus. That is going to be a 9.
That is a success, not a critical success. Your powers do not activate. Since it's a basic success, with the way Unleash Your Powers works, you don't really get much information off of that. You don't get, like, your little danger sense trick. But your powers do not activate for one reason or another.
Okay.
Which, hey, that's one more piece of evidence that it's safe.
I mean, this might be kind of crazy and stupid, but surely we could very quickly figure out if this works. Nikki, Professor, can you make a bomb?
Nikki immediately goes, no. At the same time, Professor Gwenda goes, probably.
Great. Now, if we only discuss that here, you guys go make a bomb, bring it here, and then old Shadow Boy just brings it to his office. If he's not expecting it, it works.
Holy shit.
Everyone's insane facial expressions tell me that this is a great story beat. Let's do it.
And if it doesn't work, we're all dead anyways, and I've been roped into it. So we might as well go the whole way.
We are at an hour and a half of recording. I think that's a great time to go to our commercial break. Right after TBD suggests building a bomb. So we will see you all in just a couple of minutes. Hey everybody, welcome to the Power Play Episode 6 commercial break. We are over halfway through the season now, but there's not a lot of new announcements, so like the past couple episodes, this will be a quick one. As always, the first and most important announcement that we have is that we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/the D&Dorks. It is the best way to support us and what we do here on the show. And hey, if you've enjoyed the first half of Power Play, maybe check out the Patreon for the second to get early access to episodes and after shows for all the new and all the old episodes. Secondly, I mentioned this last time, but I will mention it again now. Once Power Play is done, which is currently tracking to be on November 27th, that will be the end of D&Dorks content for 2024. But we are already working on the next series for you, which is currently scheduled to start airing in January of next year. Exact week to be determined, but it'll be the same format as this one, Wednesdays on YouTube. And Spotify and other podcasting platforms, of course, but hey, YouTube is what we won an award for, so that's the platform that we recommend at this point. other than Patreon. Patreon is the main recommendation. Third, we have a slightly bad announcement, though not a majorly horrible one. The merch line has been delayed another week. There's a lot of logistics to work out with this. You'll see why when you actually get to see the full line. But to make up for it now, I do have an early sketch of one of the designs that I will go ahead and put up on the screen. I really like how this one is turning out so far. It's going to be a great final product, and all the other ones are going to be just as good, and maybe in different styles, so keep an eye out for what exactly that merch line is going to look like. I promise it's coming soon. I am trying my best to get it out ASAP. And last but not least, in fact maybe most for a lot of you, the fan art contest winner for this week. This is the episode 3 winner. Remember that the entry period for each episode is 2 weeks after they air. This week's winning comic book cover is by @SwordFightingPotato. There's a lot of cool visuals that you can get out of episode 3, and I think this is an excellent execution of one of the options. Cool concept, cool arrangement, cool framing on the page, just a very well put together cover. Remember, if you want to enter, you can send those submissions to sirsuperheroms@gmail.com, and please make the subject line of the email Powerplay Fan Art Contest episode, and then whatever episode number you are entering for. And with that, over half of the commercial breaks for Power Play are now done. But don't worry, there is lots more show to come, and so I'll let you get back to it. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the episode. And we are back talking about building a bomb. Taylor,
Correct.
clarify your exact logistics of this plan again for me here.
Yeah, so basically, the minute I stepped into this van, we are now all dead. Or we're winning. And there's no in between. And so we have to act on the assumption that we're all already dead. Which means we need to act fast. And we're on borrowed time. So, might as well act now. If we can make a bomb, just do it right now. And because we have Umbra, who can shadow out of here, and the Shadow Realm can't be seen. I don't think Taylor knows that, but fucking I know that, so fuck it. The Shadow Realm can't be seen. Drop shipping, baby.
Drop shipping.
The question I have is, when he was making the threat to us, the sense that I got was the threat that he was making is like, yeah, you can kill me, but like it's a dead man's switch kind of situation. Like, if you lay a hand on me, your families are gonna get burned.
No, that was absolutely
that is the vibe.
Yeah, at least that was what I was trying to communicate. I don't know if everybody got that sense. I don't even know
if I necessarily.
Like, that was why he was so confident that like when I went for him with the shadow spears, because like if you do it, your family's dead anyway. Like, killing me doesn't prevent me from doing the damage.
I see.
There's a little tiny bit. I won't say specifics of the scene, but in the scene where Danny was talking to him, there's also a little bit of that, like, don't act unless you know what the consequences of it would be. So, yeah, that is the sense. It's an interesting plan regardless, and it was definitely a good break point, but...
Wait,
so maybe
I no longer believe him.
Yeah?
Because if he's blackmailing a lot of people and he has a dead man switch that'll make us pariahs forever, yeah, that's bullshit. Because he's blackmailing a lot of people. He has to be to have an organization like this going, and he's going to make every single one of them pariahs forever?
Technically, you don't know that he's blackmailing everybody.
He's been doing this for a long time. I've seen Clue.
Okay, maybe there's a slightly less radical proof of concept. Maybe we don't need to drop a bomb in his office, but we need to do something that's threatening enough that he wouldn't want it to happen, that he would need to stop us. And we're talking about it right now in the van. So either he already knows, or he doesn't, and this will be the proof. And if he does know, the minute we step out of this van, we're all dead.
Let's get Mason.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
He wanted Mason so badly. He was so weird about Mason. Let's
Nikki kind of tries to go, I'm sorry, who's Mason?
Ghostlight.
Oh, right. Do we want to bring him here? He sounds scary.
Yeah, what time of night is this right now? Is this the time of night where a very sleep-deprived man would probably be hovering in a ball of light?
you don't know what his schedule is. It is definitely, like, this scene started at well, it was a front, but this scene started at what would have believably been, like, a party for a college dude at a club, and it's been, like, an hour since then. So it's probably, like, midnight at the earliest.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
Like, I do
yeah.
like the idea. I want to talk to Mason. You're right, because Network was weird about Mason, and I think what he has of a Mason is Network find a way that he can sleep without ghostlighting people.
Nikki once again speaks to him and goes, Isn't his thing that he can, like sense people's fears?
No, his thing is whenever he falls asleep, he makes, like, ghosts. Like, he makes scary shit happen, but he doesn't know what he's doing.
But the fears are still, like, specific to the people, right?
Yeah. I don't know how that
And
works
isn't
either.
Network's
Some kind of
thing
psychic
that
power.
he uses other people's senses?
oh,
Yeah, but he can't use them while he's asleep, right? Is it
Yeah, but if he
possible to be
figures out
asleep
how to
and
do
be
it, that would
awake?
be really bad.
we could figure out what Network fears. We could drop a sleeping Ghostlight in Network's office. Ghostlight has teleported before. Did I tell you guys that? I talked to the people at the hospital. Ghostlight, like, teleported out.
Oh.
So there's no way
I-
Network would know.
Did I say he teleported out a couple of...
He said he disappeared without a trace.
I should have been more clear. He did... that was poor wording on my part. He cannot teleport. He, like, flew away.
Okay.
He
That-
fell asleep and then he floated out of it.
Yeah, he like... Because when I say... without it, like, he flies. So it's not like there were, like, tracks or anything. Like, he vanished in my brain. He, like, burst out a window and just left.
I thought he just teleported, and I was like,
No,
what a
that was
terrifying monster.
probably a more of a failure of my description than anything else, because I was, like, visualizing. He, as far as you know, does not have the ability to teleport, but you have only seen him in action specifically once. So, just to clarify that.
Let's drop Ghostlight on Network and then just watch. Let's see what Network's afraid of.
I gotta convince
God,
Mason.
I
to
like-
do that.
Taylor,
we
I
don't.
like the idea of dropping a bomb on him. Honest to God, my plan was just to go along until he got sloppy and careless and then kill him up from out of a shadow or something. Like,
Well, if
I don't know what the fuck
there's
I
the
was gonna do.
possibility of a dead man switch, I guess I didn't think about that. So the only other things we can do is hit him where it hurts. So my only other thoughts are blowing up his set.
or all of his drones. Hey, Professor, would there be some way to shut down, like, the wireless signal for, like, a whole bunch of drones all at once?
Like an EMP.
She thinks about it for a moment and goes, potentially. I'll have to do some research. I was just informed about this situation recently, and fortunately I find it an interesting enough scientific puzzle to lend my assistance. That will take some time to figure out, but it is possible.
Okay,
We don't
you
need to
should
stop
only
all
look at
drones.
research for that while you're inside a Faraday cage, just in case.
She actually, at that, she's gonna speak up and goes, for what it's worth, while we're discussing plans, do keep in mind that if you intend on discussing things in this little cage that we find ourselves in, do make sure that you have some sort of backup plan for what might be seen on the outside. I understand a lot of things about this situation, but a way for you to be in two places at once is beyond my understanding.
Can I try something that I've never tried before?
Yeah, I feel like you say that every episode. Go for it.
Can I try to, like, make a second
I knew
Goo
you were
Girl
gonna-
out of Goo?
I knew you were gonna mitosis.
It'll probably be half the size.
Unleash your powers. You're going to need to crit, and even then, we'll see how it goes. But that's such a wild pull.
That is an 8+. I'm on Freak, right?
Yes.
Well, thanks to the leveling up that we did in the post show yesterday, which you should absolutely subscribe to the Patreon and watch, an 8+2 is a 10, which I believe
Barely
is a crit.
a crit. So, in what is surely a very weird scene to behold, you kind of just, without saying anything, just sort of duplicate yourself. Here's how I think logistically this is going to be. This is extremely disorienting at the very least, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that's the best. Like, when I say extremely disorienting, I mean like until you practice this for a decently substantial amount of time, you will not be able to do anything because you're one brain piloting two bodies at once. Like, that's going to take time to get used to.
I'm
And
controlling the second Goo Girl?
oh, is that not what you were trying to do? When you said duplicate yourself, that's you were
I
trying to
just
make
wanted,
like a simulacrum kind of thing.
I just wanted like a Goo Girl standee that could be in bed
Okay,
sleeping.
that's so
Holy
much.
shit.
No. To be clear, when I say
control?
when I say
Come on.
control,
Yeah, you
I was
can't
gonna,
take that back.
That no. That's fine. It's gonna take like a month for you to figure out how to do that. Like, it's not like an easy thing. But yeah, you can have very, very, very limited control. And what I will also say is, while you are doing this, though you can't exactly tell how, like, your mass is split between two. I'm going to assume if the idea is that you're trying to make like a duplicate that looks convincing, they're not going to be smaller, so they are less dense and therefore less durable, which will have, like, you know, if somebody hits you or attacks you while you're in this state, it's going to be a lot easier to do damage just because you have a lot less density, a lot less protection. But yeah, there's a Goo Girl power unlocked, I guess.
Holy shit! Yeah, I just wanted to make like a fucking cardboard cutout of Goo.
So what we've learned today is
power.
be so vague when you're describing your new powers, and maybe I'll overshoot it.
Yeah.
Again, it's gonna take. This is not something you're gonna be able to use effectively for some time.
Okay. I can be in two places, and I think the other half starts finishing the sentence at once. Oh, that was weird.
Tom is just looking
Yeah.
left to right. It's like, you could what?
Everybody looks stunned at that. Nikki's jaw is on the floor because she's known you the longest, and now there are two of you. Professor Quinto is just kind of like squinting at you incredulously. I stand corrected. That was not something that I assumed would be in your capabilities.
I didn't think about trying it until you said something just now. Thank you, Professor. Are there any other things that I can't do you want to test? Because this is... I think at this point I'm going to reconnect and be like, this is... Okay, that's better. This is great.
I'm not so sure. Like, Tom is like getting like a.
I wonder if I can give myself extra limbs like that, too. So I'll do that later. You guys don't look like you want to see that.
Okay, so just so we're all on the same page, what are we doing? We're not dropping a bomb on him.
Several
I
plans
guess.
have been proposed. You are getting to a point where either you're going to need to pick one, or we're going to cut over to see what Danny is doing.
Yeah,
Which
Tom is definitely like if we shut down like even half of his, like even a part of his drone network, that'll piss him off, right?
We don't need to shut down the network. If we're going to EMP something, we EMP his fucking base. Then
Or
we shut
that.
down the entire drone network and also everything else.
That'd be a big AMP.
Yeah.
Smaller than hitting every drone in the city.
Look, I'm not a science person, but I don't think you should drop a EMP on a city because like there's hospitals here, you know.
Oh, signal blocker then. But we because if we hit the base, or if we hit the drones, that's hundreds of moving targets, maybe thousands. The base is just one. If we cut the base off
if we
from
could
the
plant
internet,
a signal jammer or something. Yeah,
Oh.
like if we could something that jams the signals going
and
out
jams
of
the
the base.
signals every time he goes on the air, and we just shut down his show.
Without a show is nothing.
Yeah. Doesn't even have to know it's us.
Professor Quinto speaks and goes, a signal jammer would be much easier to build than a bomb. Well, not in the strictest sense. It would be much easier to build a safer signal jammer than it would be to build a safe bomb in a short period of time. I can have that for you quite quickly.
Make several. Let's have backups. If he finds it, we just keep replacing it. We take away his show and just watch him crack.
I also have to assume, until further notice, that the second we step out of this van, we might die. So, Nikki, you're with me.
I think we all have to go back to the club then.
Well, I mean, I could get us all out of here.
That is true.
Yeah, but if we are just randomly somewhere, I guess we've been off or been away for an hour anyway. Network's gonna have questions.
I guess
the
we better have
absence of
answers.
us is just as curious as knowing
Yeah,
where we
that's
are.
actually an interesting question. Your network phones, are they on your person at this moment, or are they
No,
out somewhere? Okay, yeah.
God no.
I wasn't bringing it to the party.
Yeah. So nobody has them.
My phone's rarely on me anymore. It's on
Yeah, I
Nikki
wasn't-
most of the time, and she texts me. But I assume
Oh.
she didn't bring it.
Well, yeah.
I assume she didn't bring it if she's...
No,
If she was, the
I
whole
don't
point
think
of the
she
van was
brought it.
to not get detected by
No,
network.
she wouldn't have
probably
brought it. She's smart enough to not have brought it.
Okay, so what? Break? Hope we don't die?
And
Yeah,
if anybody
you know,
asks-
dude, I'll just drop you back on your patrol, man.
Well, I gotta keep an eye on this one, pointing to Nikki, if you're okay with that.
She nods.
Cool. I would rather get dropped off at the dorm. I'm probably not gonna be patrolling.
All right, sure, we can do that. Rebecca, where do you want to go?
Drop me off at an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
Gotta stock up on mass before you try duplicating again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I clocked that.
I think I'm going to be coming to this van and practicing duplicating outside of networks and knowledge as often as I can. Just when days pass, assume every day I'm here practicing my powers and being as weird as fucking possible with my mass and ability to split myself.
Okay.
Gross.
Yeah. But yeah, like so Tom's like, okay, Nikki, you've never tried this before. It's a little bit weird. Just try to look at one thing at a time, because if you move your head around too much, you're gonna vomit. Okay?
So it's like a roller coaster?
Oh, it's a little bit worse than that. And then like grabbing Taylor and Nikki, sort of like pushing them together and zoop.
Ah!
You know, I've still never tried that.
All right.
And yeah, like dragging them through the like. Does Nikki want to have a reaction to being in the shadow realm?
I mean, her scream that got cut off, you guys hear the whole thing, and it sort of goes through like a little
Yeah.
audio filter, you know, as you go into the shadow realm. She looks around, like, there's a moment of terror, but then, like, she kind of starts to look excited as she realizes this is the first, like, actual superhero-y thing that she has been directly involved in. Like, she's seen Rebecca do stuff, but she's never actually, like, directly experienced superhero-y things before. And so as her breathing sort of slows a little bit, this is actually pretty cool.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
How does this, like-
we should keep moving though. Let's not
How
stand still
does
for
this
too long.
work with, like, physics?
Don't think about it too hard. I fell
Yeah,
off
and-
the needle the other day. Physics are kind of out the window.
And Tom is hurrying them along. Like he seems uncomfortable standing still in one place for too long in here. All of a sudden.
Taking notice of that, but not really, like... And Nikki takes notice and goes along with your rushing, though she doesn't have any reason to believe that this would be something abnormal for you.
Right.
And I'll kind of leave it up to Taylor where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, we go to my dorm. Thanks, Umbra, for the ride. Catch you later. And then after Umbra leaves, there's probably like an awkward moment where I'm like, damn. Me and Nikki in my dorm. Yeah, so this is my dorm. I got an extra bed. It was supposed to be like a duo, and nobody ever showed up, so it's all yours.
She goes over and sits on the edge of it. still kind of excited from the Shadow Realm thing, but as she sits down, you see her shoulders sort of slump as the excitement starts to wear off from the whole situation and the actual reality of the insane shit that went down over the past hour and a half starts to sink in. And she just kind of whispers under her breath. She goes, I almost got you guys killed, huh? I was just trying to help with the cage thing. I didn't know about the...
It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. When you're with me, I have not found my limit yet. So, on what I can do to protect people, the only thing that stopped me once was network, and it was an accident. Yeah, I can't have you dying, because who else am I gonna copy answers off of for physics tests?
Yeah. She laughs and stands up and goes, where's the bathroom? It's been like an hour in that van.
Let me go in there before you. And I flush the floater I accidentally left, and I clean up the table and get rid of all the bloody snot rags from my nosebleeds and just clean it up. All right, spray Febreze. So much Febreze. Yeah,
we get the very fast little montage. Let me go in there before you real quick. Okay, I think it's good.
Yeah, his powers activate because he's in mortal danger.
Yeah. I
He gets the Mr. Clean power up, gets bald all of a sudden.
I go, yep, all good.
Okay, thank you. And she kind of takes a step towards the bathroom, walking past you. And then, still looking scared, just as she's walking really quickly, wraps you into a hug.
Oh. Wow, this is nice. Yeah, okay, I'll just stop talking.
She pulls away after a second, clearly feeling a little bit awkward about doing that impulsively. Just kind of says, okay, thank you for helping out. And then, blushing a little bit, walks into the bathroom very fast.
All right.
And then network blows up the building.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I got for that scene.
Yeah, season ender right there.
Season ender.
like don't stop believing by Journey, and then cuts to black. Yeah.
Network's like,
Check
make a
up
bomb,
with
I'll
Taylor
make
and
one
Nicole
first.
in Agents of Hades 3.
No, just Nicole. Taylor survives.
Yeah, I guess he's
Separated.
fine.
That's the angst.
So, what is it? Where is everybody else? Rebecca, you're going to get food because I accidentally canonized a wild superpower for you that I'm now going to have to deal with for the remaining several episodes. But hey, I will deal with that. We'll catch up with everybody here. Tom, where are you going?
He's going back to the van to get Rebecca.
Oh yeah. Yeah, unless there's like a specific scene, I just assume you take everybody around.
Yeah, like Rebecca's never been to the Shadow Realm either. Like, does Google want to have?
Oh, that's true. Never mind, because I forgot that she was the one who didn't go in during the original plan. So yeah, let's not skip over that. My bad.
All right, I'm excited. Let's do this.
Yeah, no, just hold on to me. Try not to look around too much because that'll make you nauseous.
Okay.
And just, I guess, zoop.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It is.
Out of.
What?
No, finish your thing.
It's just it is dark, but not like normal dark. This is weird dark.
Yeah,
No
it's
offense.
really weird dark.
It's so weird dark. Do you like spend time in here all the time? Because I would come here all the time.
I mean, I used to. Like, again, that little nervous, like, looking around. But, you know, it's...
Is there something in here?
No. And, like
Oh,
like,
there's
he can
something
feel
in
the little
here.
shadow self sort of start to poke out of his shoulders and, like, sort of shoves it back like Eddie with Venom kind of thing. No, it's fine. It's a lot of shadows. It's real spooky, and sometimes you feel like you see things, right? I'm...
Hello? There's something in here. You wouldn't have shushed me if there was nothing in here.
There's nothing in here. I really don't want there to be anything in here. I just don't want to take chances with this, okay?
Have you ever thought about like bringing things in here and leaving stuff as landmarks to see if they stay?
No, and now that you said oh man, that's gonna stick in my. No, not doing that. We're not doing that. We're taking you home. And out of interest, what does Goo Girl look like in the Shadow Realm?
I'm also curious about that.
Yeah, so with the way that you've described the Shadow Realm, I think it would definitely, like, amplify the fact that Goo Girl is somewhat translucent. Like, I'm kind of imagining it in almost like a glassy sort of sense, because if it's just like a sort of inverted way that light is working, like, the fact that Goo Girl, like, light passes through Goo Girl, that would definitely be more noticeable here, if that makes some sort of weird sense, you know?
Yeah, because I was imagining Danny, like Ring Bear, sort of like in a sort of, black light sort of glow thing on her costume, for example, right? Like Taylor, like, looking a lot brighter than he usually does.
With Goo Girl, like, it's less... you know what? This is going to be a very niche reference if people don't know what this is. But you guys know uranium glass?
Yeah.
It's like, I would imagine, like a more liquidy uranium glass in a sense, which if you don't know what that is in the audience, Google it, like I think Nathan is doing right now.
And Mike.
Yeah. I'm going to Google. I mean, I know what it looks like, but I want to see.
Yeah, now I want to see it
the
too.
reference images.
Yeah, I was told not to touch the.
It would. I think it's a sort of like more translucent, liquidy uranium glass type look. And obviously,
Google
the color
uranium
would be a
glass.
little different.
Don't pick it up. Don't touch it. Don't have it in your home.
Yes, it's extremely like people collect it. They collect it knowing that it is uranium glass, and not every collector does it safely, but the reasonable people who collect uranium glass do it with precautions. When it was made, the danger was not known. Now that we've had the legal disclaimer.
The first time I saw uranium glass was just like in a farmer's market. And it was just out. It was just in the shop for antiques.
See, don't do that. Don't have it. Won't it won't kill you if you touch it immediately. But like, don't drink out of it.
Yeah, don't get exposed to it over a period of time.
Yeah, it's like an
lead,
extra,
but worse.
Yeah.
Extra lead. Yeah,
but Goo Girl is not actually radioactive, as far as we know.
Yeah, that'll be how we all die.
Some uranium in
Dr. Manhattan plot.
Goo Girl exposure.
Or Spider-Man Rain, you mean? No, sorry.
And now I'm going to have to edit that out, or I'm going to get 12 billion comments.
Yeah, I think also if we are leaving, can I just leave a drop of goo in here and just like to see,
like a little trail of breadcrumbs?
Yeah, just like I'm about to go remass anyway. I'm just gonna leave so much goo in here just to see if it stays, to see if it's gooey, to see if like you run into it next time you come find me.
Goo Girl said, I think gooing like time and goo's all over the place.
Yeah,
it's gooping
I think
time.
Tom is gonna notice like a lot of them is like, oh come on. Like, Rebecca, come on! Like picking it up, shoving it back into her, but like some bits of it still get left behind, and she's like hurrying her along,
throwing some of it. Portals. No, I don't know what that means. I just watched
eventually.
It recently.
Listen, if you get haunted by shadow demons, I can't help you. Push, push, push.
There are shadow demons.
I don't know.
Toss. I think this goes on until you shove me out of here so quickly.
Yeah, it's like the alley behind like an all-you-can-eat diner is like, and like splats you out on the wall, kind of like, oh my god.
One last goo glob.
Yeah.
Thanks for the ride.
Yeah, but as he goes, like just before he goes, but still, like, hey Rebecca, thanks for taking me out tonight. Actually.
Yeah. Hey,
I think I kind of needed it.
If you need anything, let's hang out. Let's do stuff. Let's explore your shadow place, or just like play video games or something.
Video games, those are the two options. Yeah. Video games, explore the Shadow Realm.
Cool. I'll run an extension cable into the Shadow Realm. It'll be fun.
No! Like dips into the Shadow Realm, like slams the door shut.
I can't wait to go back there. All right, I'm going to go to this buffet, and I don't know that you need to have me RP Goo Girl showing up.
The next half hour of the show is Goo Girl's experience at the all-you-can-eat buffet,
describing each dish she's ordering, and
like TTRPGs really let you live your fantasy, and as somebody with a lot of food allergies, the idea of being able to eat everything at a buffet.
Oh, unfortunately,
Really?
Goo Girl has all the same food allergies you do.
Yeah.
Oh no!
That's the trade-off for the duplication power. I
I've
didn't let you
explicitly
know.
mentioned eating dairy-based foods every time we've talked about food here out of power fantasy. She's actually died in episode 1. I got ice cream last episode.
Yeah, this is like the psychotic vision that's going through your head as you're like choking to death on the floor of a diner. Yeah.
It's one of the like Goo Girl's powers are actually 10 times stronger than she thinks they are. It's just she's been accidentally suppressing them, like if Superman was microdosing kryptonite the whole time.
That's fucking funny. But no, I intentionally talk about eating foods that I'm allergic to every time food comes up in TTRPG as like a little joke to myself.
That is very good. Now, we should check in with Danny. I know you were training and not super involved in that scene by your own choice, but is there anything that you want to cover in the rest of that night? If the answer is no and you just kept training, that is totally fine. I just don't want to skip over you. I want to give you the chance.
Shortly after her discussion with Tom, Danny, frustrated, packs up her things and goes for a run. She is basically waiting for the next job.
Got it.
And until then, she's kind of been on autopilot.
Okay.
Damn.
So, we're going to move to the next day. For my sake, and for the sake of the audience, since a lot of plans were discussed, recap for me what your current plan is.
The current plan is
The
to
EMP,
have
right?
signal
Yeah,
jam.
to have the professor
Oh,
build
signal
like a
jam.
signal jammer that we can plant like basically around network space and try and just jam whatever signal he's got going out
Yeah,
Okay.
we wanted multiple for sure.
and fuck with his control over his drone network. Just like, because Taylor's right, like that would be something he would have to stop us doing, right?
Yeah. That is
Especially
very
if we
good.
planted it
That's a good
right
plan.
before an episode, before we went live.
Yeah.
The next day rolls around. Professor Quinto already has the signal jammers. Amazingly. Very quick work. It's, comic book science. Very quick work. The tech is always there when it needs to be. So there's no real reason to wait around there. Plan can already go into motion.
I think we're waiting until we go
Sometimes
live.
things are easy. Well, do you want to plant them in advance or? And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it'll be Tom, like doing like his little shadow thing, like planting them all around the perimeter of where we know the base is.
Okay, so you're not actually going in the base. You're just planting them like around at ground level.
Yeah, like I don't think I would have a way to smuggle like 24 signal jammer, like however many it is, into his base directly as such.
Yeah, whatever you want to try. I'm just making sure so I have an idea of the logistics of the plan here.
Yeah.
1 or 2 in the base if we can.
And I assume if you're doing this, first off, we received the signal jammers in the Faraday van.
Yes, I
we
will
only
give you
distribute
again.
them
It's the
to
same
the
logic
jammers
as the
on
phone, where
Faraday- Yeah,
I'm
We'll
going
take
to
the
assume
relevant
in this
precautions.
case.
We'll go in and out through the shadow realm, that kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we are. Unless it's very specific circumstances, we are past the point in this series where I'm going to make you actively say every sort of safety precaution you do. Once you've done a safety precaution once, I will assume, unless it's very situation relevant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think trying to get one in the base, like if you could get one close to the main cam when he's like presenting everything.
I can definitely try it. I don't know if Matt wants me to do a
It'd be
roll for that,
risky.
but like Tom
Yeah.
would definitely try like sort of make a portal into the rafters and like put it on like one of the beams way high up.
Yeah, you're going to have to do an Unleash Your Powers if you want to get anything in the base, because getting in and out of an underground area with your powers is a little difficult, just because there's not, like,
Will an
connecting
11 do
shadows. Okay, yeah, an 11 will definitely do that. You are able to get inside the base. You have a sort of map of this base before. You have that underground area that, actually, you never technically went to, but that TBD went to once. So yeah, you have a layout of enough that you're able to plant the signal jammer there.
Sick.
Yeah, just like popping a hand out, just placing it down and then back out.
Okay. Simple enough. And now the plan is waiting for the next operation, and then you're going to start it up when the things are going to go live. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably right when we arrive on scene. The best part.
We arrive on scene. We shut the shit down. We still fix the situation because we're heroes, but none of it's on cam.
Yeah, we basically act as though we're on camera the whole time, like we still do the hero job.
Of course, yeah. Trying to especially make it seem like you're not the one. Obviously, you're not going to be suspicious. You want it to look like some sort of malfunction that you were not involved in. Got it.
Especially since Danny's not involved. If we all act like we don't know what the fuck just happened to Network, that sells.
All right, cool. And Danny's... Okay, that was actually going to be my next question, and you beat me to it. So Danny is not being informed about this plan.
No.
Unless she ever comes to the van.
Yeah. If she ever contacts...
Yeah, and she's going to have to ask, which will be... She's going to have to ask, and probably in person to get information, so I think logistics are complex enough.
I think what we would do is, if this scheme works, we will forcibly take her to the van. And then be like, that was us.
Yeah.
All right.
And we plotted that in the van.
The cool van that we have. With that, if your plan is to just wait around, it'll be, let's say, 2 more days until the next plan. If any, as I usually do, if anybody has any scenes I want to do in those 2 days, now is the time to talk, but I don't think anybody does, so interrupt me if I am wrong. But we can go ahead and skip to the next scene of a supervillain crime.
I will just say,
2 more days of buffets.
me and Nikki are inseparable because I'm still on edge. I wouldn't say... I'm sure we have our little romantic moments, but most of the time, especially in public, I'm like bodyguard mode, you know? But like we do everything together because I'm still not convinced it works in a similar sense that Danny is, but I got kind of roped into it without much fuss. I didn't have the forethought to be like, no.
Tom is like sort of like, so dude, like Nikki, how's she doing? She's okay, right?
Yeah. I mean, we have very different sleep schedules, so that's already been kind of a problem. But aside from that,
because she sleeps at night.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. Aside from that, yeah, it's been good. I do have to go to physics class, though. That's the worst part.
Yeah, I mean, now we know the professor's cool at least, right?
Professor is pretty chill. It's not that bad.
Yeah. You know, if you want to fix your sleep schedule and, like, make it line up with her, she could always just sleep in her bed.
All right, let's do
this superhero thing. Yeah.
My nose bleeds again. Oh, Jesus. Oh.
You hear Mason just collect the blood.
Yeah, that's all that. I mean, we are inseparable.
Cool. The next 2 days are tense, but optimistic for at least most of you, I would say. You have a plan in place. We will see how it goes. Now, over the course of this, at this point, like week and a half, right? You guys have all occasionally been getting messages from Network. Nothing out of the ordinary, just like, you know, if somebody goes on patrol and there's normal cameras and stuff. It's very much the sort of normal stuff that you would get from him. But for what it's worth, the tone of the messages has changed quite a bit, because he used to kind of text you guys in the same sort of manner that he presents on TV in. Doesn't seem like he has enough care to do that anymore. His messages are a lot more blunt, a lot more forceful. You can kind of...
less emojis.
Yeah. If you imagine his voice in your head as you're reading it. Used to be it was the presenter voice, and now the messages seem like they're more in the tone of him being that arrogant asshole that you got to see more directly in The Office. So... as this next day rolls around, eventually you guys all get a ping on the phones, and all it says is, bank robbery, get there now, car's coming. This is a very blunt message, which in the past has meant something extra dangerous. In this case, that's just kind of how this communication goes now. But a bank robbery is at least new. So...
yeah.
Classic.
I do think anytime Network texts, I quickly take, like... copy the text, go into a little app on my phone, make a meme like the SpongeBob meme where he's like going like this and just paste it back in the chat. I also don't use our chat without him anymore. Sometime during the last week, I just said, might as well just talk in here. And so...
That actually, like, not that you would know this, but he chuckled at that, genuinely. He very much likes that defeated energy from you.
Oh, well.
I also think Google misunderstood that, and like all of the social conversation is happening there too. She's like, "Oh, the new episode of it's 2025, so I have no idea what's on TV. The amazing
One Piece.
new the new episode of One Piece is really good, you guys.
One Piece is already canon in the anti-cosmic universe because Lord Cringe watches it. So, yeah, that actually does make sense.
Like I said, it's the little rebellions. If we blow up his notifications with a deep dive on One Piece, that's a win. That's a
Talk
win.
about how excited we are for the Dino Crisis 4 announcement.
Yeah. Info dumping about Sonic lore.
Oh,
Exactly.
let's talk about... No, sorry.
Well, yeah, we'll do the real-time... Hey, if you
Metal
want
Sonic?
real-time info dumping
Tran?
about Sonic lore, subscribe to our Patreon and watch our after shows.
Yeah, I will talk about Metal Sonic on the after show. I promise.
Oh.
I got 4 or 5 people who sent me Tumblr asks about what I talked about with Metal Sonic last time I did it on the after show. So I know some of you fuckers are listening.
Excellent. So, cars roll up, as usual. You guys, again, for all intents and purposes, this is normal, except for your plan. So you guys cue that whenever you feel is the right time. But to everybody else, things seem fine. You roll up to this bank. It's on a busy city street. There are some people outside with cameras already, but not super out of the ordinary. Whoever's here and taking stuff is inside. Team points. This is a conflict. We got to do team points here. And the vibe might have definitely changed here, so let's address that real quick. So, start with the pool of 2. Number 1, if the leader has influence over every teammate, add another team point. Does anyone have a reasonable case for why Network would not be considered the leader in this case? Because he did technically send you all here, but also you are operating under your own plan. So if you can make me a case for Network not being the leader, that will result in more team points in your pool.
So I wrote down for Goo Girl, the second that TBD said, let's make a bomb and chuck it in his fucking office, that TBD has influence over Goo Girl.
Nice.
Because this plan, no matter like what the fine details ended up being, it was TBD, right? Until TBD got in the car, it was, oh God, we're fucked. We need to get the others here. What do we do? TBD made the plan. And so I don't know if we all have one coherent leader, but right now in Goo Girl's mind, TBD is the leader.
I'm willing to count TBD as the leader, and I do think TBD has influence over the rest of the party.
I do now.
Yeah,
everyone.
he does.
Yeah, okay, cool. Network has officially been deposed as the leader for mechanics purposes. Big milestone, and you guys get an extra team point from that. Unfortunately, to balance this, I do think the second category is going to be different for once. Previously, if everyone has the same purpose in a fight, add another team point. That's always been marked, I think. But Ring Bear doesn't know the real plan, and so I do think that is going to knock that away. So it doesn't actually take one away, but it doesn't add one, so you're still at 3. If any team member mistrusts the leader or the team, remove a team point. That would really be on Mike to answer. I don't think Danny distrusts any of the rest of the team, but to be sure, didn't think so. Even if you're not necessarily like acknowledging that TBD is the leader because of the situation, I think it's close enough that we will mark that there. So still at 3. If the team is ill-prepared or off balance, even though Danny doesn't necessarily know what the plan is, it's not a thing where Danny not knowing is kind of part of the plan. So I'm not going to say that you're unprepared or off balance. I think that is fair. So 3 team points. It actually evened out to about what it is normally, but we had the TBD shift, so that's cool.
That's crazy.
And I think when we first get here, before anything else, because of this new shift, Goo Girl is gonna look at TBD and just be like, okay, what's the plan? Because last time she tried running in, somebody flew out of a fucking tower and almost died. So she's not running in. What's the plan, TBD?
Wait. What's going on here?
I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're the one who knows what to do.
I just gotta.
You got the smelling salts, dude. Come on.
Okay. Well, normally. Okay. Yeah. Google, Umbra, you guys are movement-based, quick-moving team members. You run in first. Me and Ring Bear will follow behind. Go in there, assess the situation, and we'll have your back.
Okay. And I'm gonna get on the phone like I usually do when I want information and be like, Network, do they have hostages?
There's a slight pause as Network checks the drone feed. He goes, there are... Actually, he's talking to you directly. I need to remember, he's talking to you directly. He doesn't need to do that. There are people inside, of course. I don't believe any of them are necessarily actively hostages, but who knows? They're always in danger.
Okay. So, let's go be a target. And,
Yeah.
Well, I'll go in and draw fire. You pull people out.
I'll do my best.
You got
Hey,
this.
Danny, since we're doing it, let's just do it. Let's put on a show, huh?
Yeah.
Give it our best. Heroes.
Yeah.
All right. You guys enter the bank. And you see immediately who the villain in this situation is. This villain looks extremely different than the others that you have fought up until this point, and not really in a way that might fit the tone of the situation, especially for Danny. You see a woman dressed in a very bright blue, like, kind of cartoony, almost Power Rangers-esque suit. She has, like, this sort of half-skirt thing, and there's all sorts of, like, really weird, like, gadgets and weapons and things on it, and she is just kind of going around the room, grabbing stuff from people, whatever valuables they might be. She's taking money from behind the register, and she is putting it all in a bag that is, like, comedically small. You have no idea how this is working. It looks like a bag of holding type situation where she's just grabbing shit in the bag, in the bag, in the bag, an impossible amount of stuff going into this thing. She has not yet noticed you.
Yeah, because Tom is definitely trying to find a shadow to sneak into. Somewhere
Yeah,
that's like
this is the middle of the day.
out of sight.
It's a bank, so there's obviously, like, it's a fairly nice bank architecture-wise, so there are, like, pillars and columns and stuff. There's definitely shadows that you can use.
Yeah, so he'll be sneaking around that while Google, I guess, goes in through the front.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the front door and go, halt, villain!
The woman is going to spin around and look at you, and then, without saying a word yet, a giant smile crosses her face. She drops the bag and reaches onto her skirt for a little sword, and then with a big flourish, whips the sword off, and as she is swinging it through the air, it grows to her height and slams into the ground.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, you are so cool.
Oh shit!
She takes a very big dramatic bow, still with the massive sword in her hand, and goes, "Thank you."
Look, I grew up on like Ultraman and shit, and there's some inspiration, right?
Of course, of course.
I know we have to fight, but Are you watching the new Ultraman? Like, it's really good. I'm just buying time for Tom to be able to get people out of here, and I am also fangirling a little bit.
So as she responds to you, she goes, "Oh yeah, absolutely, it is so good, but we're gonna have to talk about it later because," and with her other hand, she whips out a gun from her skirt and fires it. And as she is firing the gun, the bullet leaves the barrel and also grows in size as it rockets towards you.
Size.
Yeah.
Oh, towards me or towards Tom?
Towards you. She has not noticed Tom yet, as best as you can tell. Go ahead and take a powerful blow. I think that's a fair enough to start. This is a power that won't be too bad for you regardless, because cannonball into goo, but...
Oh man, this villain is so cool, and she makes things giant, and if she doesn't make herself giant by the end of this for a kaiju finish, I truly don't know. That's the dice off the table. That's a 2 and a 1 on the dice.
Oh, that's good. For a powerful blow, that is fine. Yeah, so I'll let you describe it as you go, because this is obviously a power interaction that might be a little bit funnier.
I think the thing that everyone would expect to happen is that it bounces off and flies back. But I think instead, because again, just such a fan of the aesthetic and the look, Goo Girl just like opens a cannonball-sized hole in herself and the ball flies through. And she's like, but the outfit also, like the weapons all being like monochromatic, that's just like, I can't get over this. I'm sorry. I know you want to talk later, and I hope this isn't weird, but I'm so...
While we're fangirling about this design, I do have to shout out Ruben again here, because this is a fitting time to do this. I described this idea of like all the weapons and tools and stuff on the skirt. It was Ruben's idea to do the design like Warhammer models, where it's like you snap them out of the pieces. That's what it's supposed to look like. I'm like, that's so good.
She's literally got gunpla on her goddamn skirts.
Yeah. It's exactly,
so
and I'm
good.
like, that's such a good idea, Ruben. Absolutely do that.
Wow.
While this is
IRL
going on, Tom is trying to like grab like whatever civilians are in here and like in whatever way he can get them to somewhere that's safe. Like whether that means pulling them through the shadows, for which I think it's gonna be fair to do an Unleash Your Powers.
Yes, maybe an Unleash Your Powers here.
And that is an 8 on the dice, which means that it's 10 with my freak.
10 with your freak. Okay, yeah. You are able to grab some of these people and start taking them away from the shadows, or through the shadows. As you are doing this, though... Actually, you know what? No, with a success? No, you're with a critical success, at least. Nah, you're able to do that. There's a lot of people in here. This was a bank in the middle of the day, so this is probably going to take some time and multiple checks to get everybody. But you start doing things successfully here.
Yeah, that's like Tom is focused on doing that because he remembers what happened to the civilians last time.
Yeah. For the record, Ring Bear TBD, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think at the same time when they initially run in, I think TVD's gonna like turn to Danny and seem a little excited. And be like, you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. It's work.
A cannonball crashes out of the fucking bank and smacks into a Buick LeSabre. Like, cool. Let's do it. And I run in.
You run in, you see this scene that is going down. Probably you run in like right as Goo Girl is sort of reforming after not blocking, but just sort of not being affected by that shot.
Can you become giant? Is that because like I think I could too? I've been eating a lot of food lately to test it, and like I don't know, like I mean, kaiju stuff is that just like she's just still rattling on as you guys are coming in.
This woman kind of just matches your energy. She keeps talking to you in the same sort of like hype, fangirl, optimistic tone, but she's also like moving and attacking as she does that. So as you're asking her if she can become giant, she kind of shrugs. She goes, I haven't really been able to make it work on myself yet. I don't know if it works on like living stuff, but you know, I make it work. And as she's saying that, she touches like a big, I'm sorry, what would even be in a bank that this would necessarily work on? Like a column or something. Screw it, that would definitely work for this. She swipes her hand at a column that she's standing next to, and the column shrinks down to a like hand size, and then she just very casually tosses it behind her, jumps into the air a little bit, and the column rapidly expands again, thrusting her forwards, essentially using it like a jump pad to swing at you with the gigantic sword. That's going to be another powerful blow as people are coming in. But then we'll have TBD and Ringbear get to act.
Oh, fair.
Unless I can defend.
Oh yeah, you can defend. You're in. You can defend.
Okay.
I would like to defend.
Say instead of taking a powerful blow, can I time for a show to do an equally flamboyant power display back to like try to show off for this person, or should I just take the powerful blow?
Let's do TBD's defend first, but then sure, if you want to replace move, go for it.
Cool. So defend someone as savior. I'm fairly certain. Yeah. Sheesh. That is an 11 on the die, plus 3 is a 14.
Oh yeah, you are easily able to save this one, and with TBD's powers being weird and what they are, here's a kind of interesting way that this power could work. You, as you're sort of like reaching out to sort of block this swing in some way, you know, your powers kind of work. A jet of like freezing energy shoots out of your hand. For just a split second, freezing Goo Girl solid. The sword hits, bounces off, and then Goo Girl defrosts again.
Whoa. That was cool. Can you freeze my fist real quick?
I did crit.
You have... Okay, we'll make that Goo Girl's move. You wanted to do the flamboyant power display thing. Do you want it to be that? And then you can roll for it?
Adding a team pool, by the way, for that.
Add a team to the pool. Okay, sure, 4.
Because I think it'd be cool to do exactly that and then punch somebody who's on the other side of the fucking room with it. So I will roll superior for my flamboyant display of power.
Flamboyant display of power.
Well, that's 2 1s on the dice.
Oh!
With plus 2 for superior is a 4.
Fun fact about masks, this isn't really a fun fact, it's just more of a math thing. The highest modifier that you can get is plus 4. So if you roll 2 1s, literally nothing can turn that into a success. It is for all intents and purposes. Like, it is a critical failure, basically.
No, because even a team point can exceed the plus 4, right?
Yeah, the highest modifier, or highest and lowest modifiers that you can have on rolls are -4 and plus 4. Nothing can push it out of those boundaries. So, yeah, if you get double ones is a critical failure for all intents and purposes. There is nothing that can push that up to a success. So, actually, I kind of know exactly how this would go. TBD, you try to use the last remnants of this power as it fades with the danger. You fire out a blast, you freeze Goo Girl's hand. Unfortunately, Goo Girl, this is not something that you're used to. I mean, you were frozen entirely a second ago, but one part of the body is very different. So, as you're sort of going in for this punch, TBD freezes your hand. The punch goes entirely wrong. Your hand falls to the ground as the density change kind of messes with you, and taking advantage of that opportunity, the still as of yet unnamed villain reaches onto her skirt, grabs the hammer that she has, and as you're falling down, hammer slams you into essentially an uppercut.
Oh, it's so cool.
Continuing that move. Powerful blow again for that. And then I think Ring Bear is going to be able to act, because Ring Bear hasn't done much yet.
Oh no.
Oh god.
It's an 11?
Oh, that's yeah, that's not great. That's not great. Yeah, pick your options.
Can I roll to defend again, or since I've already done that, is it like a weird
Given that this was described as something that you were like, this move was done with the remnants of your last defend, so I think you would need like there's not an official cooldown to TBD's abilities, but this is like 2 seconds after you did that again. So
this is the consequences of somewhat of my actions.
Yeah.
So I choose 2 options, or
so the way
you
that
choose one from the strong hit list.
Yeah, you can choose one from the strong hit list, but the clarity there, one of the options in the strong hit list is 2 options from the normal instead of 1.
Okay. Losing control of powers here fits thematically with what just happened of like, oh, my density is weird, part of me is solid, part of me is liquid, and then I got hit with a hammer.
Yeah.
And I'm also a lot more dense than I'm used to being, because I was just eating 3 all-you-can-eat buffets in a row in a night, so there's a lot more mass than I'm used to.
I mean, yeah, we'll take sort of a funny bit and we'll make it a little bit scarier. It may be kind of funny, but scary if you go with the implications. Goo Girl, you have been trying to get more, dense over the last couple of days. You've also been practicing being able to split up your form. So, I mean, this is going to go exactly as you would expect. It's like pounding a hammer into just like a huge thing of oobleck, right? You guys watch as this villain hammer slams Goo Girl and just all over the back wall.
Oh my god!
So
She fucking dead?
am I like am I
that
all
is,
of these different goo pieces?
you are not like, your consciousness
They
is
all
not
become
split up,
tiny
but
little
that's
miniatures and run back to
extremely
each other?
disorienting. There is going to be a minute where you are not going to be able to, like, you basically have to find your bits again, and so you're going to have a second where you cannot talk and confirm to people that you are not, in fact, dead. I think this is a good time. Ring Bear, you basically just walk in and see Goo Girl get hammer slammed into puddles. Yeah.
She's probably fine. And we're gonna run up to this villain. Has she been named?
She has not said
we
her
don't have
name
a
yet,
name.
no. There's a conversation that was happening with Goo Girl, but that got cut short, so she has not yet mentioned her name.
We run up to the villain, and in a little tit for tat, we're going to try to give her a European uppercut, which is like an uppercut, but instead of hitting with your fist, you kind of hit with like your whole arm.
Man, Nathan made a joke, I think, last episode of just, you can say, like, a place and then a fighting move, and all of a sudden it's a wrestling attack. And European uppercut is the one that I think makes that sink in the most for me. But yeah, go ahead.
It's an uppercut, but it's smug about it.
Yeah.
Aren't you from Europe?
Yeah.
Make me
I
I think
idea
that
how
would be
smug we are about Americans over here. It's kind of unbearable.
Yeah. I mean, we hit back.
Yeah.
I got no beef with Denmark. Denmark seems chill.
Yeah, Denmark has one of the coolest.
Yeah,
football
but we can all agree we hate the French.
Yes, of course.
And to clarify my conditions here, because stuff has happened.
Oh shit.
Throughout the last scenes, the only condition I had cleared was anger, because time had passed, but I still had afraid and hopeless marked. Heading into combat, I made the decision to unmark afraid and remark anger.
Okay.
Because that is where Danny's head is at currently. So there will not be the -2 to directly engage a threat. It's a wrestling move, so we'll roll with superior, which makes it a 9.
9 is a success. Pick your option.
Nice.
I think I got this. Hang on, actually. No, it rolls savior, so that bumps this 7 up to a 10, actually.
Pick your 2 options.
Excellent. Let me get the options.
Very nice.
Because I never freaking learn.
I actually have my cheat sheet up from the beginning to that. For the first time, I think. Since episode 1.
I am going to resist / avoid their blows.
Nice.
And I'm going to take their hammer.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes sense. I actually,
a woman.
I like that a lot for Ring Bear especially. So you jump in. This still unnamed villain kind of swings the hammer at you, takes a couple shots. She seems pretty competent with these weapons for what it's worth, but you are able to get in a hit with your European uppercut, causing her to momentarily let go of that hammer, which you grab as it's falling, though after a moment of you holding it, it shrinks back to that sort of comedically small size.
Fair enough. I'm going to turn it around. Let me double check her.
She's got a W,
Their
so
eye
until
holes.
otherwise we call her Wumbo Woman.
You actually might be able to guess her name if you know the W and the. You might be able to guess.
In this mask, can I see any eye holes?
No, actually. With the way that I describe it's a Power Rangers-esque. So this is obviously a Tokusatsu-inspired character, so it's like a visor. There's, like, you can see kind of through to vaguely eyes, but there's not, like, eye holes, you know? It's like a giant sunglasses piece.
Okay. Here's how I'm going to do this.
Oh, God.
In wrestling, if you hit someone with a weapon, it hurts more than a regular strike. That's just kind of accepted. You can literally hit someone with a microphone. It's like, oh my god, that's a heel playing dirty move. That could knock him out. So using this, albeit very small hammer, hitting the way a wrestler has to when they use a hammer, you put your hand on the top end of it and hit them like that, and it's technically a weapon shot, so it would technically do more damage. So we're gonna give her one of those in the helmet.
For my note, as this is happening, when are you guys doing the plan? Have you
I was about
to say, you got to tell me when the plan is going off.
Oh, I thought
Because I think it would have to be at like whatever is the worst moment for network for this to happen, and I think that would be the moment, like the moment Ringbear's right about to land the blow.
I also wanted to potentially say that we plotted in the Faraday van that the professor would do it. Because I don't want any of us to be caught on cam fucking hitting activate or anything.
Okay,
yeah, actually,
that seems
broadcast, then, run to the Faraday cage and jam that signal.
That seems reasonable, yeah. Because, honestly, like, even then, she could be watching it from wherever and do it at whatever moment feels right. Okay, so nothing immediately happens from that. Though I guess if you see, like, if there are drones around, actually, give me an assess a situation check for doing that, and then we'll do the effects. If this is happening kind of as Ringbear's doing the attack. Whoever is watching, which is probably at this point, actually only TBD. Because Ringbear's busy, Umbra's busy, Goo Girl is droplets of slime gradually coalescing into a humanoid form. So only TBD, give me an assess the situation, and then we'll follow up with Ringbear's attack.
Unfortunately, I'm still guilty. And so assess the situation does get a -2, and it's superior, so it's just straight up a -2 for me. So here we go. That's not gonna do it. That's a 4.
You don't see any notable effect. For what it's worth, also, like, you don't immediately start getting angry texts from Network, but the signal jammer might also prevent him from doing that, so you don't really have any information to go off of. As far as you... Actually, no, you don't... With the 4, and you be the only person locked in enough to notice at the moment, you don't even know if the plan is working.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll go forward with that.
That's the plan, though.
That is the plan. That works out fine. Finishing up this move that we sort of cut away on, Ringbear, you easily hammer slam this woman with her own hammer, causing her to, like, comedically stumble backwards and probably, like, fall on her ass or something. Why not? Definitely giving you an opportunity... create an opportunity wasn't the one you picked, but screw it. Yeah, you definitely have enough of an opportunity here. Goo Girl, you are still reforming, but Umbra, what are you doing? At this point, if you are wanting to continue getting people out through the Shadow Realm, that is going to be another Unleash Your Powers check.
Oh yeah, he's focused on that, and
cool.
That's a 5 on the dice. That means it's a 7 with my Unleash, with my Freak, but yeah.
Okay, that is actually fine. That works out nice. You do get the people out. You are able to, snatch a couple more people, take them through the Shadow Realm, spit them back out on the sidewalk. But as you are doing this again, as you go back in, you sort of pop out in the shadow of, like, a couch, like, kind of reaching out under it, like a boogeyman-style monster, And then, as you are reaching out to grab a couple of people, this woman, keep wanting to say her name, this woman crashes into the ground after Ringbear's strike. And from the low to the ground position, notices you and reaches out to touch the couch, shrinking it down and removing the shadow that you were using to teleport. Just sort of like, we've never had a situation where a shadow was removed from you, not from light before. So you just kind of get, like, catapulted out as essentially, like, the portal that you were using just snaps closed.
Yeah, it gets squeezed out, like, from a tube.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a...
And, you know what? Take a powerful blow for me.
Yep, absolutely. That's... Oh, hang on. That's... what conditions do I have? I should check. Yeah, that's 6.
A 6. Ooh. Okay, never mind. You are able to be... Well, I mean, it'll still happen.
Yeah.
But you are able to dodge. After shrinking this couch down... The villain kind of, like, does a little roll over in your direction, and as she's rolling, grabs her sword again, it extends, and she slams it into the ground where you were, but you are able to kind of shift your form and move out of the way slightly. At this point, Goo Girl, you are able to reform enough. What are you doing?
So I think, not missing a beat, not shutting up, I am going to attack. I think I'm just going to huge jet of goo at this woman if I can. And I'm also going to be like, okay, but seriously though, like, you are so cool. What do we call you? As I like, just full blast, like Sandman shooting sand at Spider-Man kind of thing. Let's try to hit her towards a wall. See if I can't.
Give me a directly engage for that. I had you do an Unleash when that was against Captain Kraken, but Captain Kraken's much bigger. So do that, and then we'll have the consequences happen.
Okay. You said to do directly engage?
Yeah, that can be directly engage.
I would like to use stage fighting to because I have an audience. Well.
Actually, in this moment, you don't, and you are aware that you don't.
Yeah, I think I don't. I think I have to roll danger. It's danger, right?
Well.
It is danger.
For engage the threat, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not rolling stage fighting. I'm just rolling, or the superior, I'm just rolling danger. So that is a 4 and a 6 plus 1 is an 11.
Oh, and you were worried.
Well, you know.
Pick your options.
Yeah. Sorry, I only have one monitor over here, so let me jump back to the cheat sheet. God, this lady is so cool. Directly engage. I usually do the unleash my powers. I think this is the first time I've actually directly engaged a threat normally.
Yeah, you usually use your powers in very like weird and unique ways every time. And you use stage fighting a lot, so...
Yeah, I do. It's fun. It's the whole reason I chose this class, is I can be dumb and flashy. It says I can choose 2.
Yes, you can choose 2 of the 4.
I would like to impress this person.
Kind of figured that's what you were going
she
for.
Is wonderful. And Goo Girl can't help but just absolutely love her. And then I would also like to take something from them. And I'm wondering if my goo can't take one of her weapons away. Maybe
okay,
the gun?
Here's how I'm going to describe this. I think you describe this as like a jet, right?
Yeah,
so
just like
I don't
so much
think
cool.
with the way that you described that, you're going to have enough finesse to grab a specific weapon. But I will say you can knock away like the sword she's holding, right? Because that's what she used last. You can get a weapon away from her, but you're not going to be able to like specifically disarm if you're basically using hydro pump on her.
Okay, yeah. The hydro pump is a perfect example of what this is, and so yeah, the sword is perfect.
Okay, cool.
So I want her to think I'm cool. Wonder Lady fucking rules.
Very
Is that
close.
her name? Is that her name?
Very close. Very close. You shoot this jet at her, hitting her square in the chest, throwing her backwards as she gets up. The sword goes flying out of her hand where it lands on the ground, clattering around. And then, after a moment, it shrinks back down to that normal size. And as she's kind of picking herself up from that big knockback attack that you hit her with, she looks up, and she kind of looks a little bit disappointed as she looks down at her suit. And she's like, oh, come on, did you not figure it out? I mean, I have the blue and the white and the dress and the big W, and my whole thing is I can like grow and shrink stuff. It's Wonderland!
Oh, Alice in Wonderland! Oh my god! Not only are you cool, but you're better at naming things than I am.
Remember
Hey, what
episodes ago when I was like, there's a villain who's I would brand as whimsy. There's a growing and shrinking tokusatsu one named Wonderland. This is who I was teasing.
God
Hell
damn.
yeah. I think Umbra at this point is gonna sort of right, cool. I don't suppose I can convince you to leave the normal people alone.
She kind of looks around and then she goes, I mean, if you let me get out of here with the stuff that I took. She landed conveniently next to the bag, the, again, comedically small bag. She takes, I mean, if you just let me kind of leave with all the stuff, sure. I don't want to hurt anybody. I just kind of want to take this.
Hey, banks have insurance.
She did also take stuff from all of the people who were in here, I should note.
Bank robberies, bank insurance
Yeah,
covers
listen, if
the people who got robbed.
Really?
listen, I don't care if you take anything from the bank, but those people are gonna need their wallets back, you know.
Is the ground slippery right now? From Google
There's
attack?
been so much goo all over
There
this
was a
place.
half second where I had to process why on earth you were asking me that, but yeah, I do think so.
Cool. Danny interrupts this negotiation using the slippery floor as propulsion to glide up to Alice and give a knee lift directly into her face, which is appropriately called a shining wizard.
That I do think, to get, like, a slide into a knee strike like that, I think that's a weird enough physics thing that it's an Unleash Your Powers, but give me an Unleash Your Powers.
Super fair. What's my freak? I don't think... Did I... Yes, I added 1 to freak. That's a 7.
A 7.
Hey-o.
That is a success, but with the way Unleash Your Powers works, I forget to do this half the time, but when I remember it, unfortunately, it's worse for you guys. Again, the way this works, the effect does succeed, but it's either going to be unstable or temporary or have some sort of negative consequence, or you can mark a condition to essentially turn it into a crit. Sometimes I don't make you guys do that if it's a simple enough task where it would really just be hit or miss. But for this,
I'm gonna mark guilty, because on some level Danny understands that she is being very mean to someone that Goo Girl very clearly likes and thinks is cool.
yeah, you as this conversation is going on with Umbra, Wonderland is just kind of like looking at Umbra, not really paying that much attention to the rest of the fight, and then literally from off frame, Ring Bear slides in the most literal sense, and just BAM! Knee strikes her directly in the face, throwing her backwards again. The bag
and Umbra's gonna be like,
fly
hey,
out of her
we're
hand.
not doing negotiations.
The bag
Hell
flies
no,
out of her
we're
hand,
not.
landing somewhere, and she kind of hits a wall and crumples to the ground once again.
Oh my god, are you okay? Sorry, my priorities are weird here.
She looks up at you. You can her mask is a little bit cracked. She doesn't actually look okay. She looks kind of hurt from that.
Danny's not gonna stop, is the thing.
Danny's on the job now, yeah.
So Alice is looking up on, presumably like on her knees or some stuff like that. Danny's going to do a PK, which is a penalty kick. The soccer ball is your opponent's chest. So
Damn.
walk up, kick her as hard as she can in the chest. Because the best kind of wrestling is the wrestling where they kind of hit each other really hard.
Give me a directly engage. And since she is vulnerable, I'll give you a +1 on it. But it's still going to be a directly engage.
I didn't. Okay. That's nice. That gave a +1. I'm not gonna roll fight the good fight because I did explicitly say I'm hitting her really hard. But that's a -1 on danger that evens out, and I got a 6 and the 1 on die. That's a 7.
All right.
7.
Oh, I think that +1 I gave you actually took it over to a success, huh? Choose your option.
Frighten the opposition.
Frighten the opposition. Okay, yeah, you're still going with the scary arc. You know what? If you're going for frighten, I'm actually not going to do the thing that I was originally going to do. Yeah, you kick her square in the chest. The floor is still kind of slippery, so she slides backwards a little bit from it, crumpling over more. She's not looking good. People who are watching this and not directly involved, you can make an assess the situation check if you want to see a little bit more of this.
I'm gonna make that assess the situation check to see,
I will.
and that's a
also, or
12 on the dice, which means it's an 11.
Still crit.
I got an 11, but assess the situation. I get -2, so it's a 9.
You both crit. Well, one of you hits, one of you crits. Essentially, the information is pretty clear. You can tell a lot of the fight has immediately gone out of her. Like, you get the sense this was instantly more than she bargained for in one way or another. She looks worried. Like, you can see she's starting to tear up a little bit through the crack in the mask. This isn't good.
Okay, so I guess the question I'll ask from assess the situation: what here can I use to restrain her?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Okay, so with the TBD, you're not really sure, to be honest, because the way her powers work,
Yeah.
she could probably pretty easily either grow or shrink anything that you want to use to restrain her, so she could slip out of danger pretty easily. Skyen, don't know if she can do that to shadows. She can change things that make the shadows, but you got a crit. If you were able to restrain her with a shadow from something that is out of her reach, that might work.
Okay, cool. I'm also, since I can ask multiple questions, what here is in the greatest danger? I assume that that's her from Danny right now.
Is in the greatest is in the greatest danger or is the greatest danger?
Is in the greatest danger.
Yes, that would at the moment be Wonderland herself.
Yeah, okay, so sort of that, I don't need to know the third question. Umbra's gonna attempt to like gather a bunch of shadows from things that are out of her reach, like from around the corners of the room, slide them across the floor and like just like shackle her down.
Give me an unleash your powers because you're trying to do stuff at range, but that could work.
Is just to make sure I don't have conditions. That is 7.
7? Yeah, that's enough of a hit. It's not the most stable shadow shackles that you've ever made.
I'm gonna mark afraid to turn it into a crit because I am a little bit scared of what Danny's gonna do.
Cool.
I think seeing this happen. Oh, yeah. I think seeing this happen, Googirl is gonna go, Umbra, you, me, Wonderland, Shadow Realm now, and shout to Wonderland and be like, just let it happen, please. And is that if you're willing to comply?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be sort of like, wait, what, really? And then like try and pull the both of them in there.
Okay.
That's going to work.
Thank you, Wonderland. You're safe. Are you okay?
Through kind of tears that are starting to form, she just sort of nods and gives like a really faint.
Okay. Network can't hear us in here. I don't know if that means anything to you. Are you being blackmailed into this?
No, I don't know him.
You don't know Network?
I know who he is, but I've never met him.
Okay, we need to not let you get captured then. Because if you get captured, he will have his hit grips into you. He's blackmailing all of us into this show. He'll blackmail you too, and you will become one of his. Or you could come with us and be our person on the inside if you want to try that. But this is not a good situation for you right now.
She just got hit several consecutive times and you dumped a ton of information on her. She nods, but you can tell that she's going to have to take some time to process all of that.
Yeah. And Tom is gonna pile onto it. Yeah. Like, listen, just whatever secrets you may have, just assume that he knows them and he's going to use them against you, right? If you get away, he's probably going to contact you. If you don't get away, well, he's going to have you in a cell.
What if she stays here?
Tom sort of looks, gives a... wait, what was the other thing you said? I think I missed that.
Oh, I said, and then we can get her to the Faraday cage.
Tom sort of gives you a look like, I don't know that... I mean, I guess if Network isn't watching right now, he's going to ask where the hell she went. We need a good story.
If she uppercuts us both out of this Shadow Realm, we can say she's lost in the Shadow Realm somewhere.
Well, shit. I mean, he doesn't have a way to check that, does he?
I'm not actually going to get lost in... Where are we?
Here, I'm going to make another me. And she'll stay with you, and I'm pretty sure I can find this later. Do I need to unleash my powers for that? I probably do,
Yeah.
don't I?
Yeah. I think reasonably so, yes.
Yeah.
That is an 8 on the dice. Or that is an 8 plus my bonus, so it's 6 on the dice.
A 6?
6 on the dice plus 2
Oh,
for
6
an
on
8.
the... I got you. 8
Sorry,
okay.
I said that in the worst way possible.
I got you. That is much better.
Yeah, it was like, plus the bonus is a 6, what?
Yeah, you're able to split up, best you can tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't do this often. This is weird. I'm going to stay with you. And we'll come back for you. And we're just going to say that you punched us out of here. But we're not going to trap... He's blackmailing us, and we're not going to trap another person under his powers.
Okay, I don't fully get it, but she reaches back behind her and pulls out what looks to be just like a very large sort of metal glove. Goes, punch you out of here. Okay. And she's going to do what you said. That's not necessarily the intent, but that's what she heard.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely going to work because that's funny. And as Tom is flying out of here, he's going to say, "Don't stay in one place for too long."
I still
Okay.
think you're cool.
Here's a problem that happens with that. Goo Girl, you have been practicing splitting for a couple of days now.
Mm-hmm.
The difference in perception that you are going to be experiencing while your two forms are literally phased through dimensions,
Yeah.
that's real bad. The second you get knocked out, you are... I don't even know how this would work with Goo Girl's biology, but, like, immediately nauseous to the point of vomiting.
Yeah, I think I can absolutely do that. Just, I think vomiting for Goo Girl is also disgusting. Can I just be gross for a moment? I think
Like if TBD can describe jerking off into a camera, I think
you know what?
vomit a little bit.
Yeah, I think when she is nauseous and not feeling good, she is less cohesive and a lot drippier. So she's kind of has her form but is into a puddle. And when she vomits, she's vomiting into herself and then reabsorbing that. And it's just the worst cycle of
All right. With you two out of the Shadow Realm, I am actually going to say both of you take powerful blows from getting punched out of this with very little warning. Goo Girl, you're going to get an additional -1 on this from the phase shifting.
+1 because we're going for
+1,
low.
yes. Sorry, I guess additional 1 debuff. Thank you for correcting me there.
Which does push me up to a 10.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna roll a 2 and a 1, so I'm okay. But Goo Girl, ooh.
Yeah, you're good. And I don't reasonably think there's any way that anybody can defend that, because that is largely hurt by, like, a psychic effect that, obviously, Ring Bear's preoccupied. We're going to deal with that in a second. TBD, I don't think your powers... It's not like an immediate danger thing, so your powers aren't going to be able to fix that. Jess, pick your options.
Move myself from situation, flee, pass out, etc. I think passing out is so normal for Goo Girl right here.
Yeah, that is incredibly normal. Goo Girl, you just kind of... as you're vomiting, slowly melt into a puddle on the floor. What the case is on the other side of the Shadow Realm, we will deal with when we get there. Ring Bear, I'm sure you have a reaction to what just happened.
Where is she?
They took her to the Shadow Realm?
Damn! She pulled out a punching glove and like yeeted us out of there. Holy shit! I'm gonna go back in and look.
Okay. Yeah.
And like
I'm trying to,
Tom
like,
is gonna sort of feign having taken a more powerful hit than he did, and sort of like fade back into it. But I think before we do that, let's deal with whatever's going on with you two out here.
Yeah.
Danny is pacing the hall like a predator. I don't think bears really prowl, but
This one does.
she is waiting for the prey to drop back in the cage.
TBD kind of sees that and goes to the civilians. All right, everyone, please leave. It is not safe to be here. We are handling the situation. Yep.
Everyone is confused, a little worried. Luckily, Umbra was able to get most people out, but this is a very different scene than what most of these people have seen on TV the past month. Yeah. So, with cameras out, because they were, obviously they were recording this, those who still had their phones that didn't get taken, most of them, just sort of confused and worried, do leave.
Cool. I start scooping up Goo Girl. I guess I try to find like a bowl or something.
You take like
Getting,
the
like,
stereotypical lollipop
like,
bowl from the bag, dump all those
Yes,
out.
exactly. I dump all that out. Like, all right. I mean, yeah. I guess Umbra, go take a look. Can I pierce the mask on Umbra to see if I can gauge what they're actually doing?
Yes. That's a -2 because it's a player character thing, right?
I believe that is
But he has
for,
influence over me, so he can add plus. Is that plus 1 or plus 2?
the -2 is for defense. It is not for Pierce the Mask.
Yeah. And so
You do have a +1 is your only. It's mundane plus an additional 1.
Cool. So this is +2 for me. Nope. Not even gonna bother with that. That is a 6.
Well, a 6 on the die, or 6 total.
6 total.
Okay, never mind.
6 total.
Okay, I guess Umbra's managed to successfully feign being like KO'd a little bit, like that he's too disoriented to like give a signal, and he's gonna fade back into the Shadow Realm and look for Wonderland and whatever puddle of Goo Girl is in there.
All right. I'm just now realizing I never switched you guys to the hero overlay. Might as well do that now, so we have the character art on the screen the whole time. You phase back into the Shadow Realm, and Goo Girl is in pretty much the same state over here. It's also just a puddle, because the sort of psychic discord or psychic dissonance, I guess either one technically works. It's not like there's a real term for that. That affects both ways. This has, thankfully for Wonderland, been a fairly quick process. So she is just kind of staring at the puddle on the ground, very confused, obviously concerned, but like this was only a few seconds in reality, so you can kind of tell she's trying to think like, was that supposed to happen? Did I hit her too hard? What's going on? Am I stuck here? But all those things are rolling through her head before she has had a chance to say anything. This has been a very eventful 45 seconds for her.
Yeah. And so Umbra's gonna pop back in like, ugh, okay, I think they bought it. She's a little bit out of it. She's gonna be okay. Like sort of do like make a little shadow bowl and like scoop up the form of Goo Girl. All right, follow me. We'll get you somewhere safe. I'll take the like, and he'll sort of like motion for the bag of stuff. I do have to take that back to people.
She doesn't immediately want to give it to you, but
look, anything you took from the bank, keep it. Just like the people stuff, you know.
Yeah, she thinks about that and then kind of just takes out some like wads of cash from it and hands you the rest of the bag. Then just tucks those away. They shrink as they go into a hidden pocket somewhere.
Yeah, right. Okay, follow me. I'll get you somewhere safe. You can talk to the professor. It's a whole thing. We'll figure it out when we get there. And he's gonna try and guide her, basically to like presumably the van, which is somewhere.
Yeah, you have an idea of where the van is at this point. We never really like established that there was a way that you could track it, but you have shadow tracking abilities. We'll say you've done it enough that you have a sense of it. We'll actually go ahead and do that first. As you're walking, which is going to take a little bit, Wonderland is just looking around in shock. So is all this you? You have this whole place.
I'm not 100% sure it's mine. To be honest, I'm more of a tourist.
I do. I mean, she takes out like a throwing knife from her skirt and just sort of starts flipping it in the air, and every time she tosses it up, it grows and then shrinks back down as she tosses it and catches it.
Yeah. Damn, what? Is your power just shrinking stuff, or is there like more to it? Like Tom sort of gets distracted immediately by the trick.
She's like, oh, I can grow stuff too. She tosses it higher and it grows to far bigger than it was and then shrinks back down. I had these like custom made, not cheap because they're metal, but they have to be really tiny. I was kind of hoping that I sort of jumped into stuff really quick and paid a lot of money for this suit, so I was hoping I could get some money back to reimburse for all this gear.
I mean, I guess that makes sense with the bank job. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm lucky. I can just turn my shadows into this suit. And I'm sort of realizing I've had Tom out of his shadow form the whole time.
I had the wrong overlay up too.
Yeah. Oh, well. It's like very convenient. Otherwise, yeah, like Network has given the suits the other guys have. That's, well, mostly Network.
You got suits for free? I'm jealous.
Well, it came with there were some strings attached to that deal. Seriously, like, just assume anything secret browser history, whatever whatever forums you've been posting on, anything you've ever said, like, he probably is gonna know that shit and use it against you. So, like, if he finds you and he comes for you, I'd just take the deal. But if you could try not to, sell us out in the process, we'd appreciate it.
She nods and she reaches up and pulls off her helmet as she does so, shrinking it down with the giant ponytail also attached to it. She is blonde, but she has much shorter, like shoulder-length blonde hair. As you know, and you can fully see her face. She's not making too much of a pretense to hide her secret identity right now. It's not one you recognize, of course, but...
Yeah, and Tom sort of seeing that is going to be like, oh, shit. I mean, yeah, I guess. And he'll, like, pull the suit back over his head as well. We're really into shit, the both of us, I think.
Yeah, this shit seems crazy. I mean, I've only been able to do this for like a week. I was able to get the stuff really quick because what's CNC machining or something. I can get metal stuff so fast.
Yeah, like listen, you flipping around like throwing stuff at Google, it looked cool as hell. It's kind of play great on TV.
She nods and goes, oh yeah, I guess I am going to be on the show, huh? I never really thought about that. I hope they don't make me look too bad, but I did. I mean, the suit looks cool, right? You can tell me if it doesn't look cool, but I think it looks pretty cool.
No, Google was right. That shit bangs. Like, you're going to have fans immediately. They're going to make some weird fan art if you don't look at it.
That's not an invitation to our real world audience. I'll punch you.
But yeah,
but she laughs as you continue walking.
Yeah, and Tom is like asking questions because he's like, yeah, no, I got my powers like right after, the God in the sky thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Mine got there like I think I was one of the first to have it. Really freaked me the fuck out. Actually, a building fell on me and my powers just like barely saved me.
She points at you and goes, "Oh shit! Some stuff fell on me too, but then it like shrunk and so it didn't hurt that bad."
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
The hell?
I don't know. That's crazy.
That's a weird coincidence.
Yeah. Guess shit be falling on people.
I mean, yeah, for me, it's like I was in a building and a truck crashed into the building and the whole thing came down. It was wild.
Oh, fuck. That sucks, dude.
Yeah, wasn't too great, but that was the first time I came in here. So, hey, something good came out. We should keep moving. Like, he'll sort of hurry her along.
Yeah. You eventually get to the van. Professor Quinto is still there, actually. She's just, working on something. She's got a tablet open. She's sketching something. Presumably not, internet-based, but she's drawing up a blueprint or something like that. The back of the van now we'll establish this just for convenience. There is now a section of the van that is blackout that you can reach a hand through and knock on it to signal the lights. Or actually, no, there's just a light switch in there. We don't need to overcomplicate it. You can reach out, flick the lights off from in there, and then enter the van proper.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Professor, you here?
She looks up and looks around. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry, and pulls Wonderland out of the portal as well and turns on yeah, I'm sorry, I brought a guest.
I see. I wasn't particularly expecting that.
Me neither.
I believe the jammers should be active at this point.
Yeah,
for the record.
We don't really know if they worked, but God, well, if they don't, we're all dead, I guess. Yeah, sorry about that, Wonderland.
Professor Quinto kind of holds out her hand and she goes, Allison Quinto, nice to meet you. Wonderland shakes and goes, oh shit, my name is Alice. You said Allison. It's close enough.
Wait, your name is actually Alice?
It works, right?
It works so good. That's so cool. Anyway, focus. Right, I need to make up a story about where the hell you went. I'm going to say that you just got lost in here and I couldn't find you. Anytime you go outside, just assume that he can see through your eyes. Network. That's his power. He can use people's eyes as cameras. It's a real fucking freaky thing. So he can hear what you're saying. He can see what you're looking at. Just be careful about what you let him know, because he'll use it against you.
She clearly looks freaked out at that, but I think you leave before the ramifications fully hit. She's heard a couple people say that at this point, but it's always kind of been spat at her without too much comfort to it. But as you're walking back, you hear Professor Quinto. There's kind of an awkward pause as she doesn't really know entirely what to say to this woman that just appeared in the video. Goes, so what are your abilities? I've been taking notes on it. And then you cut back. And then we will flash backwards a little bit in time, because that did take some time to do.
Oh, yeah.
back
Oh, yeah.
to the bank.
I do have a question. When you took the shadow bowl full of goo girl out of the shadow realm,
No, he's bringing it with him. Like
Yeah,
he's just
he
keeping it with him.
still
He's gonna
has
come
that.
back with it.
oh, you're not gonna leave that? Okay.
I was wondering if that was going to get addressed, but yeah, at the moment it is just TBD and Ring Bear really active in this bank at the moment, and I'm sure tensions are kind of heightening the longer this goes on.
Yeah, I'm holding a bowl of goo. And I just kind of go, "You all right?"
I'm good.
For sure, for sure. So,
You got something to say?
No, whoa, no, I got nothing to say. Just kind of, we were kind of negotiating there. There could have been maybe a peaceful resolve.
What's the point in negotiating? Same
That is
person
actually a really
on
good
both
point.
ends.
That is, I actually kind of get it. That is a really good point. Damn.
I've been saying it. I'm here to work. I'm here to work efficiently. I'm here to do my job well. That means beating the shit out of them, getting them captive, no questions, no negotiations. It's the way it is.
Well, it may not be the way it is for long.
I'm not holding my breath.
This is a good time for this. Both of you, make me assess the situation checks.
All right. Nope. That is holy shit. A 2.
You are not paying attention to the situation at all. You're holding this puddle of jello in this bowl. I imagine there's a very fleeting, intrusive thought of like, I wonder what Goo Girl tastes like.
Currently, she probably tastes like the all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet she was at earlier today.
In gel form? Ew.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
think
that's
this has
gonna
been
be.
canonized. 2 just normal human eyeballs floating around in there.
I don't know. They're
Has that been
gooey eyeballs. If
canonized?
you
Are
look
they
at the
gooey
art,
eyes?
if you look at the art, they're like blank and yellow. I kind of imagine them,
Okay.
if anything, more like spots that are sort of on there, sort of like parts of a cell, that are sort of there. Obviously, that's up to Jess to decide. But if we're going for that, that's what I've more imagined them as. Not literally, not like
gonna
Glob from
be-
the X-Men.
This is gonna be awful, but I've kind of viewed them as like a yellow pool ball, like just 2 orbs
Okay,
that are
maybe it is more
denser
like
and
Glob
not
from the X-Men.
transparent, just floating around.
Man.
Horrible. Thank you. I should not have let Jess talk. Mike, what was your assess the situation check?
Luckily, Danny is wired to hell, and even with a -2 from guilty, I got a 10.
You got to tell. Oh, that's a crit. Okay, so since I asked you to do this is not where you get to ask questions. You get to notice something. Hiding in the corner of this room, ducking behind like peeking out of a hallway or something. There is still a person here who is just kind of watching you and being a little suspicious about it.
Danny's gonna approach him.
As you
dangerous
start
area.
approaching, the person like ducks back behind this door as if hoping that you did not see them.
I chase him.
Yeah, you're able to catch this person very easily. They don't seem to have any sort of powers that you can tell, at least not yet. But you can immediately notice once you catch them that they're wearing like a jacket and some sweatpants, very baggy things. And more noticeably than you would expect, under that, it looks like the coverage suits that the crew of the Hero Complex wear.
Let's have a little talk in there, yeah?
The guy just nods.
Danny comes back through the door, shows TBD what she got.
Whoa! Where'd you find that?
Right outside the door, suspiciously lurking. So, what's up?
Look, I wasn't doing anything weird, I promise. There was a signal error.
Hold on. Close your eyes.
What?
Close your
Do what he
eyes.
said.
What? Oh, okay. The
Okay,
guy shuts
keep
his
them
eyes.
closed. Go ahead. You can keep talking now.
There was like a signal error at the show, and Network he just kind of threw this stuff at me. He gestures at the clothes over his suit, and he said to get in one of the cars and come over here. I don't know. He looked at me really weird when he said it.
Yeah, he's kind of a weird guy.
I don't know exactly what that was up. I thought he was going to give me like a camera or something to record, but he didn't. He seemed pissed. I wasn't doing anything, I promise. He told me to stay out of sight. Something about immersion.
You said the signal was lost?
Yeah, I don't know what caused it.
When did it cut?
It says when it cuts at the moment where I believe it was when Ring Bear was doing the punch. It was when the signal jammer was supposed to go off.
God damn
They
it.
missed like half the fucking fight.
I mean, supposedly it's going to be fine because I was here. I don't know. He trails off, seemingly equally confused.
What did he give you? Like, let me get a look at the tools. Let me get a look at, like...
Doesn't have any tools. Dude has a hoodie and sweatpants lazily thrown over this suit. And the mask is not on because that would be a little bit more suspicious, obviously. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, keep those eyes closed, buddy. Well, the fight's over, I think. I don't know. Umbra's in there trying to find... What was her name? Wonderland?
Alice.
Alice. I actually don't know what happens if someone who isn't Umbra gets stuck in there, so... I guess that's not our problem?
Can I open my eyes now?
No. No. That's not going to happen, big dog. Just chill here with us till Umbra gets back.
Chill here with him till he gets back.
Where you going?
I got a message I want to make sure gets out there, and if half the fight was cut. God damn it. Going to talk to the people.
Okay. Don't do anything dumb.
Ring Bear, you start walking out. As that's happening, the random crew member kind of turns to you, T-Bit, and goes, I don't think we've met. I'm a big fan of your work. Gives you finger guns, totally looking in the wrong direction.
Yeah, thanks, man. I try to do good things out here. And just have a normal conversation.
Normal conversation. You're holding a bowl of goo. This guy is not looking at you at all. Eyes fully closed.
Yeah.
Ring Bear.
There gotta be, like, some kind of reporters, some story chasers out here, news vans and such out here, right?
Yeah.
TikTok streamers. Yeah.
Especially after, like, as things have gone on, a lot of other places have tried to get more and more coverage of this, but generally, since Network is on top of it as best as he can, because A, he's orchestrating part of it himself, and B, the things that he can't orchestrate, he's got a surveillance network, he's always there first. But at this point, this one took a while, the Network was not on the scene, as you now know. There are other people here.
Ooh, Ring Bear, whoever has a microphone, whether that's a reporter or not, she is going to gesture to them to come over here.
Eagerly.
Ring Bear takes the microphone out of their hand. The mainstream media, on behalf of the Power Play team, let me say, it's our first public statement. Just wanted to get out there and make sure something was clearly understood. I want you to understand it so clearly that I gotta make sure you know I mean what I'm saying. And she takes to the fabric-y eye part of her mask and rips it open on one side so that a quadrant of her face is showing. This is dangerous. This is my job. People get hurt and people die. We just fought someone in there. A young woman playing dress up. Making a joke out of this whole thing. It's not a joke to me. This is my life, death, and livelihood, and I will defend it as such. This isn't just a warning. This is making sure you know what you're getting into. So as the saying goes, don't try this at home, and don't try that shit in my city. Make no mistake, the Marquis may say power play, but this is not a fucking game.
The energy of the crowd as this speech goes on is shifting very rapidly. When you step out to make a statement to the public, the excitement is palpable. There's like hushed whispers from throughout the crowd. All the other journalists are rushing to get good camera angles on it. And the more you talk, the more everybody else shuts up until by the end of your speech, the road is silent other than you. Nobody really seems to know how to respond to that. Cameras are still rolling, but everyone is stunned by that. Just kind of waiting to see what you do next.
To everyone on my early work insisting that it was fake, that I'm a play fighter, next time, I'm gonna have the proof to drag out here with me just how serious I fucking am.
All right, god damn. Let's see. What's everybody's status at the moment? Again, the crowd is, for Ring Bear, crowd is silent. Some people start walking away, just kind of eyes still wide. Some hushed conversations start back up as your speech finishes, but the tone of them is less excited and very much more concerned. Inside, the crew member got to hear, I mean, that wasn't particularly quiet. So after that speech is done, the crew members kind of turns back to you, TB, and he goes, Network's not gonna like that, I don't think.
You know, I don't know how much I care about what Network likes.
I mean, he's kind of a prick most of the time, but he pays the bills, right?
I actually don't know if I've gotten a single paycheck.
So, you stopped a bank robber. That's cool.
Yeah. All in a day's work. Free work.
Can Goo Girl hear me? I saw like that bowl is Goo Girl, right? It's either that or it's like lime jello in there.
It's Goo Girl.
Can I
incapacitated?
See? Can I open my eyes? I'm still not sure. Can you at least tell me why? Is that like a thing with this villain? We didn't really see much of her.
I think this is just how she sleeps.
We are going to
he kind of reaches out and like
now,
taps the side of the bowl. Is like, rest well, Goo Girl.
Yep, there she is.
Okay.
I think at that point is when Tom is gonna like come back out of a shadow, like holding another bowl of Goo Girl.
Ah, cool.
Found her better half. Unfortunately, could not find the lady.
Damn. Do we know what happens when people get lost?
Dude, I don't want to think about it, honestly.
Fine by me.
I mean, she's not gonna cause any more trouble because like she can't get out of there without me. I don't think.
Probably something we should bring up to Network.
Yeah, who's this guy?
Hey. Hi. My name's Rich.
Oh, hey, Rich. Why haven't you evacuated? Like, gonna notice, like, oh.
Yeah.
Wait, why the hell is one of the crew here?
Well, he told us that apparently the signal went out, and so Network just sent him in.
Oh, but the fight was so cool, though.
That's what
Yeah. I don't know. He said having somebody there would let him get some of the footage anyway. I don't know how his tech works.
Right. Okay. Well. Okay. I guess you have a mic on you. Hey, Network. I lost her in there. I don't know where she is.
Don't get a response.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're really jammed or.
Yeah. Hey, can I he'll like lift up his bowl of Goo Girl and like pour it into the other bowl of Goo Girl.
I imagine you like put the bowls together like you're making a Pokeball, and then Goo Girl pops out of it.
Yeah, like turning over like what are they called? Like not a the Jello things you do in a mold.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're just
Google's
gonna
back.
go home.
I'm back.
If that's you can't talk back to us. We're just gonna go.
Question for you: was there a signal to turn off the jammer, or is it just from your plans on?
I think the agreement would be to turn it off once the thing is over, because presumably if those stay on for too long, network could track them.
So, when do you want that to be? Do you want that to be now? Like, if it's when... Because here's the thing. If it's just when the thing is over,
I think it'll
it's
be
going to
when
have
we
gone
all
off
walk out.
a minute ago.
Yeah,
minute
I think it'll be when we walk out of the bank and like all the other cameras crews get footage of us.
Right.
So like, oh, it's over, kind of thing.
All right. The jammer goes off. You immediately get a text from network, all of you. And then your phone pings, and it pings, and it pings, and it pings, and you just see so many angry messages that were missed from the last 15 minutes. And then, the moment after the signal returns, you get another message. Just says, signal restored, got some footage anyway. We'll talk later. Thumbs up.
Do we get a car home? Should we go back to the hero complex? What's the...
I don't know. We don't have a villain to deliver, so I don't know. Let's just go home, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to text the thing and just be like, car home, question mark?
Walk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rude.
Yeah.
Hey, Umbra, you wanna give me a ride home?
You gotta promise to stop leaving bits of yourself in there.
Okay, I promise.
She was throwing it all over the place.
We're just
Like
curious
sort
what's
of
gonna happen.
TBD. And like Umbra certainly more cheerful than anyone would probably expect him to be, given, you know.
Ring Bear, you want to ride home?
I'll walk.
I think you could use a ride.
All right.
Let's go.
Oh man, are we all going? This is so exhausting.
Ring Bear's missing
yeah,
like half of her face mask, secret identity.
Yeah. All right, one at a time. Google, you go last. I'm not leaving you in there unsupervised.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Interesting thing here. Make me an Unleash Your Powers check.
absolutely. That's a 10.
That's a 10. That is a crit. Okay, so you're definitely going to get a sense of something as this happens. You said Google was going last?
I would like to go first.
TBD jumps in first. Ring Bear jumps in second. And Tom, when Ring Bear jumps in, for a split second, you get that sense of Network's perception. It vanishes as Ring Bear enters, but Network was definitely present in Danny at that moment. And then Google jumps in, and everything's fine.
Oh, you can tell specifically who he's watching through. That's fucking nuts.
Probably only once they're in contact with like the real close contact with the Shadow Realm, but yeah, apparently. And sort of Tom goes in after, and he's gonna be silent for a second, like really checking to feel like, do I feel any of Network's influence in here right now?
In the Shadow Realm, no.
Yeah. And so like he's gonna, okay, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, he's gone. He can't hear us now. Okay.
Good
So-
job, gang.
Yeah. Anyway, Danny, it works.
What works?
The van.
The van. We have a safe spot. That signal error, that was us. We did that.
We plotted that, planned that, schemed that, all in the van.
Are you fucking serious?
You're not in on it. You weren't part of it. If he asks,
And
we'll
you
tell him.
were?
Yeah.
So what? If it doesn't work, if he finds out, if he figures it out, so what? Everyone dies, so you die.
He's not gonna.
All the stupid things you could have done.
Yeah, well, those were the fucking table stakes at this point. Look, we didn't start this. Like, he... Look, the professor... They got involved first,
What
right?
professor?
If this hadn't... And Tom is sort of lost for words. Especially because I, in real life, have forgotten the name of the
Quinto.
girl.
Quinto.
No, the girl.
Oh, the new girl, Wonderland.
No, the girl that Taylor has a huge crush on.
Oh,
Oh,
Nikki.
Nikki! God damn it. I kept them going for like Danny, but that's Ringbear.
That's Ringbear.
It's like Nikki built a Faraday cage van on the assumption that Network's thing was like electromagnetism and pulled us into it. And we thought for sure that wasn't gonna work. We thought for sure he must have magic powers or something, right? So we thought she was dead anyway. So we had to do something. We had to try something. And we plotted this, we planned this, we executed it. He didn't find out about it. Not for 1 second, because if he had, then we'd all be dead by now.
There's no way he would have let us interrupt his show and stop him from getting ratings and let him get scooped by other networks.
Yeah. So, we have a way to fight back. Look, I know, I don't know how to tell you how fucking scared I am. But Nikki was in on it already. The fucking professor, you know the professor from physics class? She figured this all out. She knows me, she knows Tom, she knows you, she knows Rebecca. They were already in on it. If we didn't do something, they were gonna die. So, here we fucking are, man.
And we have so many cards that network doesn't know about already. This new girl, Wonderland, we can get her on our side.
Oh,
I thought she was lost.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look,
no, she's
you don't
not
have
lost.
to be a part of it, okay? Like, I get it. You don't have to be a part of it. I just thought you should have the option, right? And at least some sense that maybe there's hope. And I am gonna, like, this is me trying to comfort Ringbear, specifically.
Like, mechanically for the role? Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
mechanically comfort and support
You can
someone.
help clear a condition.
Oh, hang on, that's 4d6. That's not what I'm supposed to roll.
That
2d6
is not fair,
dice
you
counter,
cheater.
please. Okay, comfort support someone's mundane, so that's a 11 on the dice, so that's a 10.
Cool.
It doesn't matter with a crit on that, except like if
Well,
we get a team point, but that's
You could also, if you get a crit on comfort and support, you could also clear a condition yourself.
oh cool.
Yeah,
I am
you
gonna
have
get
options. On a
rid
crit, you
of-
can either add a team or clear one of your own conditions. I believe every time someone has crit with that move
Oh.
before, they haven't had a condition at the time, so we just haven't addressed that.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna certainly clear my own angry condition. I'm still scared, but having succeeded, I'm gonna have a little bit of hope. I guess it's up to Danny whether or not this works in terms of alleviating her hopelessness a little bit.
Is it up to the player comforting which would get cleared, or is that up to the comfortee?
The person
rule
who is
says-
getting comfort. Almost,
Yeah,
in
they hear
almost
you,
every
they clear a
situation,
condition, or you can shift labels if you open
Yeah.
up. Right, so if you don't want to clear the condition, you can shift your labels instead.
the only time in masks where you're going to have to clear or have to mark a specific condition is if you need to mark one and you don't already or like have all the others marked, or in the case of very specific powers, like Ghostlight has a fear power, so he makes you mark the afraid condition. But in like every other case, you get to choose which ones. Or you mark or clear.
In that case, I'm actually going to unmark angry, leaving me with guilty and hopeless.
Right.
At least
Hell yeah.
And Danny says, "Look, I just want to drag as few people into this that I can. Because if I'm being honest, the fact that I and any of us are even here is just the result of an extremely stupid decision and treating this like it's some kind of game. I just don't want any other naive kids or people with dreams getting roped into this and getting caught in network.
Hey, wasn't your decision that got me into this. He found me on his own.
True. We all made a choice.
Yeah, it's my own fault that I'm here. And we just gave Wonderland a chance, right? She's in the van. Network doesn't have her. She's made a stupid choice to get some quick money, but now she's not going to fall into his grasps. We can do that for others too.
Or at least if she gets caught up by him, she's gonna know what the fuck she's dealing with.
She
Look,
wasn't
it's
him.
not much, but it's, I don't just want to despair anymore.
I need some time to think.
Yeah.
It's just...
Look, listen.
It wouldn't be the first time I got someone killed pursuing my dream. So, I can't do that again.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah,
Just
I'll
know
take
that
you
we
home.
have a weapon now.
And we're here if you need to.
I'll
I
take you home.
appreciate that. Thank you.
As we approach the end of the episode, where is everybody going to split off to here? Danny's going back home. Where are the rest of you going? Is everyone going home? Are people going to Complex, going to check out the van?
I think Goo Girl wants to stop at home, grab some tokusatsu DVDs, and go find her new friend that has to lay low and be like, "Hey, I know you gotta lay low for a bit and not get caught. Stuck in this van until we've got a better solution. Let's
Yeah,
so
it'll be.
in the van.
I'll
I don't
drop
know where
Taylor
she's
off.
staying.
Well, it depends on whether she wants to stay there. But I'll drop Taylor off first, then I'll drop Goo Girl off at the van.
Look, this person is awesome. Maybe Goo Girl has a crush. I don't know if that can go anywhere. That's up to the DM. But
Whatever you think you can do in presumably 4 more episodes.
yeah, maybe she's got a love interest. We'll see. Depends what Matt will let me do.
All right. Where are the rest of you going? And then we'll do these last little ending scenes,
Yeah.
but just so I know where everyone is. I keep
And
gesturing
Tom
at people in the
is-
Discord call. That makes no sense to people watching this on YouTube.
Yeah, Tom is gonna eventually go home, and then he's gonna he's first gonna go to text network, and he's like, I was gonna text you, but can I sense if network has his eyes on me as I come home?
If you want to do any sort of sense like that, you're going to have to do so through the Shadow Realm, which is going to take checks. So if anything,
Yeah.
we'll probably end on that.
Okay,
So-
we'll end on that.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
I'm gonna skip you for a little bit, Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, I get back to the dorm. I assume Nikki is there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm exhausted. This was actually a pretty easy fight, so it could be worse, but
There's probably extra
I-
mental strain here.
yeah. I come back and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe it. The fucking signal cut out.
That's crazy.
Like, apparently
Whoa.
Netflix found a way to get some footage, but yeah, we don't know how that happened, and it definitely can't happen again.
No, I mean, I was watching and it cut out and it sucked. It sucked that the signal cut out and I hated it. And I don't want to watch anymore.
And I think Taylor's just gonna go about his day, but I do think maybe there'll be a moment when he's getting ready for bed that he looks at his hand that sprayed ice blast earlier, and there's a little bit of cold burn there, freezer burn on my palm. I'm like, ugh. Ouch.
Something to check with Mason at some point in the future. Not much you can do about it now.
Yeah.
But an ominous little ending note.
Mhm.
Bouncing over to Goo Girl, pun not intended, but assuredly accepted.
So good.
Tom takes you through the Shadow Realm back to the van. However, there's a very big difference When you go to the van this time, and when I say big difference, I mean the van is bigger. In a literal sense, it is far less cramped.
Oh!
Because it seems that Alice has, at least while she is there, it's not like a full base, right? But it's not 6 of you crammed in a van anymore. When you get dropped in there, she is happily talking to Professor Quinto. Professor Quinto is less happily listening. She seems very exasperated, and she stands up immediately once you arrive. It goes, Goo Girl, thank goodness. I have been in here all day, and I'm very ready to get out of here.
Yeah, you can go do your thing. I figure, Alice. I don't actually know Alice's name.
It's Alice.
Oh, Wonderland. Yeah, I figured we could chat, try to figure things out, and then also I brought some DVDs, and I don't. Is there a TV in here?
Not at the moment, but I assume if asked, Tom will kindly get one from somewhere.
Yeah, like let's say I brought a DVD player and or a laptop or something from.
Makes sense that you brought the supplies with you.
I've got a PVM back at my dorm. We can do this on an old CRT the way these were meant to be watched. Great.
Perfect.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna stick around or not, or what you're gonna do with Network out there. He's probably gonna be looking for you, and I don't know what your options are. But I figured you might be scared and lonely, and maybe doing something cool. I brought some movies with me. You seem like you like Toku, so.
Oh fuck yeah! She takes the movies from you, starts flipping through, and she goes, "Yeah, that professor lady who has already left at the first moment's notice through the cage airlock safely. She's like, yeah, she seems nice, but she's not very talkative, and she was there the whole time, so I was kind of tired of her."
Yeah, she's cool, but she's also like my teacher. I'm in college. Yeah.
Weird.
I know. Yeah, I'm 22. Hi, I'm Rebecca.
Oh, hi, Alice.
Alice.
Well, not because of this, but this is because you get it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Like you full send committed to the theme. That's awesome. You wanna just hang out? We can figure all this shit out later. But I brought Mechanical Violator Hokkaido, original print DVD with the weird dub.
Yeah, she nods very happily at that. Takes a DVD, starts talking about the design inspirations for her suit. Very nice little interaction there. And now we will finish things out with Tom. After leaving the van, what exactly are you doing? You said you were trying to sense Network's presence?
Yeah, he's going back home, and as he's at his home, right at the at a shadow where he's about to step out into his apartment, he's gonna try and see if he can sense Network's influence. Is that unleash or is that assess?
That is unleash. Maybe, I think probably starting next episode, you've done that enough that it will start moving to assess if you would like it to. But for now, it's still an unleash.
Yeah, okay. That's a 2, so I'm not going to get anything.
Yeah, you do not get anything from that. So,
yeah, okay. So he's going to sort of sense for it, can't quite get a beat on it. He's going to step out, and then he's going to pick up his phone and text Network. Hey, I don't know where the hell the villain went. Do you want me to keep looking for her?
Let me think. What would his response to that be? I have to process this because I have to think about what exactly he knows of the situation. He's going to say, we have people on it. I'm not sure what you're up to yet, but stop it before I decide to hit back.
Okay. Yeah, Tom is gonna... shit. Okay. He's gonna... I mean, once you pull the trigger, I don't have any reason not to kill you, right?
I don't think there's gonna be a response to that.
Not. Yeah, and he's like, on reflection, I'd rather not.
Yeah, if you don't respond, Network's not going to say anything else either.
No. In the sense, if you pull the trigger, I'll have no reason not to kill you. And the next message is and on reflection, I'd rather not do that.
Yes. You know what? No, Network is the type of person who's always going to want to get the last word in a conversation like this, even if it's probably not the most tactical decision. He's going to respond back. He goes, it's a text message, so it doesn't carry the exact same gravitas. But all he's just going to say is, don't act like you know everything.
I'm like, how far is Tom going to push this? Because he's also kind of a reckless kid.
If you push it dramatic enough, that'll be an episode cliffhanger, so it's your call.
Yeah. I think... Oh, fuck. Because I'm trying so hard to resist giving Network information, because that would be stupid. But also, Tom, we've had a victory. He's feeling a little overconfident. I think he would be dumb enough to say, yeah, right back at you.
All right. You don't see what Network's reaction to that is. I might change my mind on this in editing, but I do think that the audience is probably going to, in one way or another. Wink, wink. But you guys don't. And so with that, we will end episode 6 of Power Play. Thank you all for watching. You've heard the promo in our commercial break. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you are excited to continue the second half of the season. As always, thank you for watching, and we will see you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You look over your shoulder at your shadow self and find that somehow, as impossible as this sounds physically to perceive, your shadow self is also looking back at an impossibly darker shadow.